Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Well, I think we will all just have to forgive each other today. The reason being that we are in the last 10 days of Ramadan, and it appears everybody woke up late because everybody stayed up at night. But alhamdulillah, we are all ready to get going. I will be running the introductions in a short while. I'll be running the introductions in a short while, but we are going to start in our usual manner by welcoming my sweet sister, Halima. Haja Halima, please come. Haja Halima is one of the babies that I am so proud of. She's not as proud of me as I am of her. I know, because I've told her, because I'm not her biological mother, she treats me somehow. I so love her. I love her for the sake of Allah and His Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Haja Halima is doing so much for us and for the religion. She studied a course that gives me migraine. It gives me migraine, even the name. She's a chemical engineer. I don't know how somebody does that. Who does chemical engineering? When there is literature, there is history, you know. But she did chemical engineering, alhamdulillah. And she's also holding the banner of Islam and flying the flag for us. And that's a very, very good combination that is worthy of emulation. So if you are that Muslim who is not raising his or her girl child, and you think that is a waste, Haja Halima is here again to tell us that putting your child in Western education is not a reason for her not to learn the Quran. Learning the Quran is not also a reason for her not to go to school. And she's excelling in both. Haja Halima, you are welcome again. Assalamu alaikum. So she's going to take, no, come this way. She's going to begin with the recitation of the Holy Quran while we get started.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'll be reading Surah An-Nur, verse 11 to verse 27. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innal ladhina ja'u bil ifki usbatum minkum la tahsabuhu sharran lakum bal huwa khairul lakum. لكل امرئ منهم ما اكتسب من الإثم والذي تولى كبره منهم له عذاب عظيم لولا إذ سمعتموه ظن المؤمنون والمؤمنات بأنفسهم خيرا وقالوا هذا إفك مبين لولا جاءوا عليه بأربعة شهداء فإذ لم يأتوا بشهداء فأولئك عند الله هم الكاذبون ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته في الدنيا والآخرة لمسكم فيما أفدتم فيه عذاب عظيم عظيم إذ تلقونه بألسنتكم وتقولون بأفواهكم ما ليس لكم به علم وتحسبونه هينا وهو عند الله عظيم ولولا إذ سمعتموه قلتم ما يكون لنا أن نتكلم بهذا سبحانك هذا بهتان عظيم يعظكم الله أن تعودوا لمثله أبدا إن كنتم مؤمنين ويبين الله لكم الآيات والله عليم حكيم إن الذين يحبون أن تشيع الفاحشة في الذين آمنوا لهم عذاب أليم في الدنيا والآخرة والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته وأن الله رؤوف رحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان ومن يتبع خطوات الشيطان فإنه يأمر بالفحشاء والمنكر ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته ما زكى منكم من أحد أبدا ولكن الله يزكي من يشاء والله سميع عليم ولا يأتل أولي الفضل منكم والسعة أن يؤتوا أولو القربى والمساكين والمهاجرين في سبيل الله ولا يأتل أولي الفضل منكم والسعة أن يؤتوا أولي القربى والمساكين والمهاجرين في سبيل الله وليعفوا وليصفحوا ألا تحبون أن يغفر الله لكم والله غفور رحيم إن الذين يرمون المحسنات الغافلات المؤمنات لعنوا في الدنيا والآخرة ولهم عذاب عظيم يوم تشهد عليهم ألسنتهم وأيديهم وأرجلهم بما كانوا يعملون يومئذ يوفيهم الله دينهم الحق ويعلمون أن الله هو الحق المبين الخبيثات للخبيثين والخبيثون للخبيثات والطيبات للطيبين والطيبون للطيبات الطيبات أولئك مبرؤون مما يقولون لهم مغفرة ورزق كريم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تدخلوا بيوتا غير بيوتكم حتى تستأنسوا وتسلموا على أهلها ذلكم خير لكم لعلكم تذكرون سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك.
Takbir. Please, who is not in love with her? Is there anybody who is not in love with her? May Allah bless you, Hajia Halima. May Allah continue to plant your feet firmly in this path. May Allah reward you. May Allah bless you, give you a blessed husband, someone who will lift your deen, not someone who you marry and you will fall in your deen, and give you blessed offspring. I am so in love with her. May Allah reward you abundantly. So thank you so much, distinguished ladies. We are very pleased to tell you that we are blessed in Al-habibiyyah. We have mothers. We have people who are our role models. We are very, very blessed. Our mother was the first person to arrive today. She came in first. Our mother, Hajia Saadatu Abdullahi Ibrahim, she was the first person to arrive. Allahu Akbar. She has not missed any of the program since Ramadan began. And the interesting thing is that this is perhaps her first outing since our father died. Our father, her late husband, the senior advocate of Nigeria, we lost him recently, and this is the first time she's coming out. And what a blessed way to come out, by attending a function that increases Iman. May Allah rest the soul of our father. Please let's recite Kul Hu Allahu Ahad for him and for all Muslims that have gone. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kul Hu Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid wa Lam Yulad, wa Lam Yakun Lahu Kufuwan Ahad. We are also blessed to have in our midst another mother of ours. I'm so ashamed to have met her here because I was supposed to see her in the hospital, but I didn't go to see her. But Mama is here with us. Our guest lecturer, okay, the mother of our guest lecturer is here with us. Alaja Haulat Shiabola. Alaja, you are welcome, ma. You are welcome. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May Allah elongate your life. May Allah give you long life. May Allah give you good health. May Allah let all your children be blessed. They are blessed already. Allah will increase the blessing. When I saw you, I know why your children are blessed. Even at this age, even with your struggles, you are still here with us. You don't want to lose an opportunity like this. Allah will reward you. Allah will bless you. Allah will honor you. And our mother is also here with us, Dr. Rekia Momo Abaji. She's the leader here of the women in Al-habibiyyah. Alhamdulillah, she's also here with us to give us that push we need. May Allah be pleased with you, Dr. Rekia. May Allah continue to honor you. Let me quickly invite to the high table now our guest speaker. Our guest speaker, Haja Musinat Yusuf. She's my sister and my wife. So she's going to, I'll do sisterhood and I'll do mother-in-lawhood. Haja Musinat Yusuf is a teen coach. She's a member of so many Islamic organizations. She's currently, she's about to have a doctorate. So maybe by next Ramadan, when we come back here, I'll be calling her Dr. Musinat. Allah will make it possible. Because we know the challenges with acquiring such certificates. But inshallah, it is your heart's desire. Allah will crown all your efforts with it and put his barakah in it. Inshallah, I also have Coach Aisha Adaviruku. That one is my sister. Yes. How, Dr. Rekia? Oh, you people agreed on it. Allahu Akbar. I love that kind of agreement. I love that kind of agreement. Coach Aisha, please come over here to the table here so that we can get started. Hmm? Hmm? Yes. Let me also let you know that Hajia Aisha Ismail. Why are you frowning? I'm supposed to bring you to the high table. I'm supposed to bring you to the high table. And the person whispering to me is Hajia Rabi Awobajo, Hajia Ramatu Ozigi, Hajia Rukaya. Hajia Rukaya, have you done your change of name? Or you are retaining your former name? Yes, in Islam. May Allah bless your marriage. She's one of the newest Amaria we have in Al-habibiyyah. May Allah bless your marriage. May Allah keep your home. May it be fruitful and rewarding for all of us. Amen. We'll start right away. Let me give Hajia Musinat. There is so much we are going to be doing, but because of those who are online, we will be interjecting with all our protocols. So Hajia Musinat, we are talking about, yes, we are talking about raising children in a digital millennium. How are we raising our children in this millennium? You said what? No, we won't be able to screen you. So let me change this.
Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Innal hamdalillahi nahmaduhu wa nashkuruhu wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fahuwal muhtad wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته يا جماعة المسلمين والمسلمات. I'm very delighted being within us today, and at this present time of the month, the holy month is almost going to an end, even though each and every one of us would have wished that it continues because we know what we're actually getting from it. However, it has a stipulated time, and we pray to Almighty Allah, whatever we have been able to do, whatever we have been able to achieve in goodness and righteousness within the month, may Almighty Allah accept it from us, and may He keep us till more Ramadan. This one will not be the last one for each and every one of us. And I say Ramadan Kareem to each and every one of us. Without taking much of our time, we are here this morning to discuss on raising children in digital millennium. Then we subtheme addiction to porn, drugs, and substance abuse. Inshallah, I actually want it to be interactive, but time is not really on our side. But however, we try as much as possible to go at the pace that Almighty Allah allows us to go. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As we all know, when we have a wedlock, the next thing we are looking at, the next thing we will be thinking of is that yes, there should be fruits from that wedlock. And the fruit from that wedlock, as Almighty Allah called them, they are gifts from Almighty Allah. They are gifts that Almighty Allah has given us, and He just He has trusted them to us. And hello? Okay. So they are gifts that Almighty Allah has entrusted to us, and we shall be asked how we actually use this gift. Just like I said, giving any one of us. In fact, I had wanted to come with one or two things that I want to give each like two people within us here. Then, from the beginning of the lecture till the end, maybe I'll have one or two things to ask, because whether we like it or not, we are not permanent owners of these kids. The owner that gave us, He only gave us within a short time. He wants us to keep them, nurture them, whichever environment you have found yourself with these kids. Try as much as possible, make good use of them, and put them in the right way so that they will attain the rahmah of Almighty Allah. And having said that, when we go back to Sirah, let's look at the story of Imran. That is the family of Imran. And that is the mother of Miriam. It's not just Miriam that prayed for Jesus, but the whole thing started from the grandmother. That is the mother of Maryam. Allah said in Quran 3, that is Surah Al-Imran. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله اصطفى آدم ونوحا وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين ذرية بعدها من بعد والله سميع عليم إذ قالت امرأة عمران رب إني نذرت لك ما في بطني محررا فتقبل مني إنك أنت السميع العليم فلما وضعتها قالت ربي إني وضعتها أنثى والله أعلم بما وضعت وليس ذكر كالأنثى وإني سميتها مريم وإني أعيذها بك وذريتها من الشيطان الرجيم فتقبلها ربها بقبول حسن وأنبتها نبتا حسنا وكفلها زكريا كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا قال يا مريم أن لك هذا قالت هو من عند الله إن الله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب. If we look into this story of Al-Imran, Quran, Surah Al-Imran, that is chapter 3, and I started the verse from verse 32, I think, from 33 up to 30, downward. Because the story still continues, but I stopped at 37, so that's 33 to 37. Then, if you look at that story, the wife of Imran, that's the grandmother of Anabi Isa alayhi salam. She was a devoted woman. And when she was pregnant, she started praying during that pregnancy. This pregnancy I've committed to you. I've committed it to you, Almighty Allah. And this pregnancy, the seed or the fruit that is coming out of it, that is a wish that throughout the life of that fruit, She wants that fruit to be engaged in worshiping Almighty Allah. So this to tell us that, yes, after wedding, the work has just started. As a woman, uh, the first thing we should think of, we don't cohabit just anyhow. Rasulullah taught us so many things in his way. That everything has to go in his way. We do it in Sunnatic way. Even when the couples are cohabiting, Rasulullah taught us the prayer to say, to safeguard these children from shaitan. We need to do this one, that Allahumma inna a'udhu min shaitan wa a'udhu bika min razaqtani. That, oh Allah, we seek refuge from you, and whatever be this you have provided, whatever you have given us from this intimacy, may Almighty Allah save them from shaitan. The same thing the mother of Maryam has done. Now, we all know these stories, but let me just make it short. But when Allah has his way of doing it, because he said in Quran too, he said, if he wills to give somebody a male, if he wills to give you female, if he wills to give you both, and if he wills, he will make you barren. Because yakhluqu ma yasha, he is the one that creates whatever he wills. The wish of mother of Maryam is that perhaps that pregnancy is a male child, because it's a male child that will be in constant worship of Almighty Allah all the time. So immediately she gave birth to that child. Oh, he said, oh, I have given birth to a female. Now, oh, I've given birth to a female. And female is not just like a male. That is a wish. She had wanted a male that will be able to worship Allah throughout all her life. But she doesn't give up there. So, Allah is the giver. This is what Almighty Allah has given me. I have accepted it. Oh Allah, I have put her in your care. Please safeguard her. She did not stop there. Safeguard her and her offsprings. So we can see the lesson there. So it's not Maryam that actually prayed for Isa. The mother of Maryam has given this prayer. So we as mothers too, not just your present children, please pray for your generations to come. Pray for your generations to come so that they can be good offsprings. Whether we are in millennium or whichever one that comes after this one. Because Islam continues being one until the Yawmul Qiyamah. Islam is going to be one. So if we try as much as possible to follow the fitrah of Islam, the nature that Almighty Allah has actually created for us, even whatever age, Stone Age has gone, so many other ages has gone, we are in digital age now. Even when digital age comes, if we try as much as possible to train our children in that way, definitely they will be under Allah's custody and they will go in the right path that we have wanted them to go. Sorry, my screen is hanging. I don't really know what is the problem. It may be my battery. Anyway, while she's trying to sort out, yeah. This is what we are talking of, digital. So just as they have their advantage, sometimes they can be so funny. Yes. Having said this, we said the children are divine trust from Almighty Allah. Now, they are divine gift and trust. All the children, we know how they are when we give birth to them. And before we even give back to them, one of the hadiths of Rasulullah sallallahu that the first 40 days of the pregnancy, they're just like, the first one, they are clots. The next 40 days, they become flesh. Then the third 40 days, this is the third 40 days that Almighty Allah will not bring grew Allah will give life to that soul. It's at that moment that Allah will not, everything about that child, it will be written. Either Shakiyun, how Sa'idun. Whether that child is going to be unfortunate or is going to be fortunate, it is at that age, it is at that stage of the pregnancy that is going to be determined. How long that child is going to stay, everything about that child, it is at that stage Almighty Allah will, when they put the soul that is going to be given. So as a pregnant woman, it's not when we give birth to this child. Right from pregnancy, your ibadah starts. Know what you say, know what you eat, be conscious of everything you do during pregnancy. Don't be the one that you consume haram, because whatever we consume, we know you're sharing with that child. So whatever we give that child is very, very important. Know your state of mind matters at that moment too. Try as much as possible to control your emotions. If you are the type that during that time you lose your emotion, you lose your temper, you say a lot of things, we see it on that child. So the prayer or whatever we want to our child is not when they come out that we start nurturing them, but even the nature when they are in the pregnancy, during the pregnancy, it has a lot of whatever be our behavior at that moment has effect on the children. So we must be very, very careful. You can see these kids. You see that holding child when he was still a toddler, very cute. We all love seeing new babies. As time goes on, they become toddlers. Then they become school age. This is the age that we need to be very, very careful. 0 to 7 is formative year anyway. Whatever we put at that time, Ali Karamala Wajao. It said children at that age, they are like rock. Whatever you inscribe on it stays forever there. So if you inscribe what is good there, you find it till the later stage of life of these kids. And if we try to inscribe what is bad at that stage, it will be very, very, very difficult to correct when these children grow up. So at that stage, this is the stage that we show love, we show passion, we show every good, every positive character that we want to these children to emulate. We are the role model. We must show them that at that age. It is very, very important, because all other one is just, okay, mommy always do this. We should be very careful. It's not what we say that matters most, but what these kids seen us do matter most. So they see the way we relate to our neighbors, they see the way we relate with our siblings, they see the way we relate with any other member of the family, even in the society. They will want to emulate it. So we should try as much as possible to be good role model to them, because we have said it, they are manna. Allah just entrusted them to us. And whatever you have given them, it's not like the computer we are talking in off. Garbage in, garbage out. Whatever information I put is what I put in this my system I'm assessing now. Whatever I could not put before this lecture, there is no way I can get it. So it's whatever we try to put in these children that will get back. Then the second stage, that's the second sevens, because I'm talking of the 3 sevens now. The second 7 is 7 to 14 years. This is the age of carrot and stick. This is when you need to discipline the children. This is when they need guidance. This is when, yes, they themselves, because they are now Allah has given them some wisdom. They have friends. They have mingled in the society, because we human beings were social animals. Yes, they have other friends that they have been moving with. They are looking on to people now. Now they want to start shaping their own. They want to have models. If we have not set it right at that first formative age, it may be difficult at this stage, because they will have what is called peer pressure. So if we allow peer pressure to, if you have not given them the good upbringing that they need, it will be very, very difficult to correct anything at that stage. So just as I said, yes, at this second stage of their life, this is the stage, they are school age now. As a parent, we should be mindful of which kind of school we put our children. We should be mindful of which kind of training we are giving them. Please, this stage we are now is not just schooling. It's just not, we are not just taking care of the cognitive alone. Let's take care of their psychomotor as well as their affective. You need to take care of the three domains of education. It is very, very important. But what we concentrated on alone is that, hey, my child must take A1 in English. My child must take A2, B1 in no. Don't just concentrate on those subjects alone. Let's give them skills. These their hands must learn some things. Their brain at that stage is very, very versatile. Whatever we put them through, they are ready to learn it. We should not restrict them. Children are just like elastic. However you stretch, they are ready to go. So we shouldn't limit them. They have potential that Almighty Allah has given them. Let's try as much as possible. This second stage of their life, that is the 7 to 14, that's the teen age. We should try as much as possible. Let them have good morals. Let us have good character. Let them have good education. A poet said, Kun ibni mashita, whoever's child you have, waktesib adaban, please achieve manners, have manners. Even in the Quran, what does Allah use to describe Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Allah described him with manners, with good characters, and even Anabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, good characters. If your child have the whole Western education, no character, no Islamic knowledge, is waste. Is a waste. Let him go to Harvard. Let him go to Oxford. Is useless because that ends in this world. What is the preparation for the akhirah? It is when you give the knowledge of deen, they know about their deen. And this starts from the formative age, as I've said. When we try as much as possible to put faith in them, wallah, they are good to go. Let them know that, yes, nothing goes beyond the sky except what Almighty Allah has written down. So we must have faith in Allah. That is the first thing. So wherever they are, you are not supposed, you are not even, they will be conscious of Almighty Allah wherever they find themselves. You don't need to police them here and there because they have known that, yes, even whether mommy or daddy is there or they are not there, I am with my Lord. And whatever I do, I'm going to give account of whatever I do to Almighty Allah. These are the just fitra, the natural nature that we all know that, yes, for any child, whatever age, be it digital, be it stone age, because our mothers that are here too, many of them, they underwent this kind of training. And I see no reason now that we are even at advantage that we have all this technology. But it's quite unfortunate that we use the technology in a wrong way. Then a child has not finished secondary school or is still in they're even in primary school now. Some schools we make that you have to have laptop for these children. There's nothing wrong in having them, in as much as we are there to guide them how to use them. But if we leave them untamed, their children are just like any other animal that we can think of. If we leave any of our animal untamed, we know what is the result. So when we leave our children untamed, untrained, we know the results of. And that is what we are facing today. That is why we are having all the problem we are having. And we are forgotten. Family is the first and smallest unit of the society. If our family is okay, my family is okay, your family is okay, wallah, we are good to go in the society. But it's quite unfortunate that we relax. Everybody is looking for money. Everybody is looking for, yes, I want to work. I want to do this. I want to. And we are forgotten the amana Allah has kept with us, that Allah is going to ask you that this gift I gave you, how have you used it? This gift I gave you, what have you used to polish it? Because it's not just giving you. If I give you a gift now, let's assume that I give you gold. You decide to go and put the gold in mud. You decide to put the gold elsewhere. Even when I ask for my gold, will I get it the way I gave you? It's not possible. And if I give you silver or any other thing that is not as worthy as gold, but you still value it, you try as much as possible to say, oh, this thing that this woman has given me, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to polish it, I'm going to safeguard it. That is exactly how our kids are. We try as much as possible. Don't just leave them the way they are. Yes, Almighty Allah has given us, then Almighty Allah has given us manual, because He didn't leave us without the manual. The Quran and Sunnah is the manual to train your kids. Don't leave your kids just going without having any training. That is why that poet I was trying to quote said, Kun ibni mashita, whoever's child you are, واكتسب أدبا, obtain manners, have good manners. In al-fata, in al-fata, yakul hana azar. That is a youth that say, oh, this is who I am. I am this. I am that. Let's al-fata ma yakul kana happy. He's not a youth that will not be like, oh, and my father was so, and my mother was so. Who are you? We want to know. What has the father put in you? We want to know. You're not telling us that this is your father. No. Quran has told us to. Yes, you can tell us stories. If you know the stories of your father, then when we look at your step, you're not taking the step of the father. Are you a good child or a bastard? Because you have not so you cannot be proud. Even the father can, if the father is not living again, that father cannot be proud of you. So not just telling us that you're a child of somebody that matters. It's not the child of whom you had that concerns us. But let us see it in you. Who are you? And we'll be able to really know what is the next step to take. Then aside from that, yes, at that stage of the second 14, I'm moving to the third 7 now. That is 7 to 21. This is the 14 to 21. Thank you. At 14 to 21, these children now, they have become our companions. They are our friends. We should be able to read dialogue with them. Try and know their feelings. Know what they are going through. Because at that stage, they are just with you at home. Oh. Hey, subhanallah. Maybe some teachers here, they will tell you. Some children have some characters at home and different characters in the school. So at that stage, if you are not trying as much as possible to befriend them, to be close to them, may Allah save us. So let us just try, be their friend at that time. Be their companion. Let them be able to tell you what they are going through. But if we fail, we didn't allow them to have that trust in us. Because, especially we mothers, even myself that I'm talking, sometimes, I said that the second stage is carrot and stick. It can't be stick all the time. It can't be stick all the time. Yes, when they do it well, please appreciate them. Let them have the carrots. Appreciate them. Show it in them. Oh, my child, pat them and hug them and show love to them. Rasulullah has taught us a lot of this. A man came one day and he kissed one of his child. The Rasulullah asked him that how many kids does he have. I think the man mentioned the number of kids. He said, do you do this one to others? If you don't do it, go back and do it to them. What is teaching us is that apart from showing love to our children, try as much as possible, show love to all of them. Don't try and segregate. Don't try and just have a favorite among them. It will not, no, it will generate bad feelings among others, and it will not be good. This is, if you want to take ourselves to the story of Yusuf again, that's the problem. So try as much as possible, show love to each and every one of them. They are the one that Allah has given. They are all your gifts. Yes, they may have their individual differences. Please help each and every one of them to promote whatever be their differences. Everybody cannot be the same. But whatever the quality, whatever potential Allah has given any one of them, be it male, be it female, we are there for them to grow it. We must help them to grow those qualities Allah has given them. Nobody is useless. Nobody can be, no. Allah has created. Is every human being, Allah said he has created that way. Allah has created in a perfect mode. Every one of us, we have good qualities in Bible in us. But it's only maybe we have not discovered it. We should help these children to discover it. Discover their potentials and grow it for them. It is very, very important. At that third stage of their life, yes, sometimes because we, the mother or we, the parents now, we need them. Sometimes you may have something bothering your own mind too. Oh, Abdul-Hayy, that's my own son anyway. We can call them. Please, this is something that is bothering my mind. Share it with them. And they will have opinions to give. Sometimes let them assume leadership roles. We delegate them. They feel happy. There's something I was trying to open an outlet. I just said that, yes, this call will be too much for me. I just one of my daughter's number there. I said, and then, the funniest thing, I didn't remember to tell anyway that she'll be the one that they people will call. But she know her number is there. But she was thinking that since my own number is there, but I just decided to withdraw my own number. So she didn't know I withdrew my own number. So, but when she came on, somebody, oh, mommy, somebody, I said yes. So just give them time that you want them to come for the interview. They want to be happy. Give them leadership roles. Let them delegate. And wherever they have gone wrong, try as much as possible, show them way. That's why we're there for them. Let us show them way. And sometimes our modes of correction matters. We should try as much as possible. Many parents, we have corrected these children and we have sent them to woe, to the hands of woe, because we have not really shown the love and the care they needed at home. So we have sent them out to a very wrong hand. Then peer pressure will come in. And whether we like it or not, because they want to belong. Whatever they see the friends doing. An Englishman says, show me your friend, I will tell you whom you are. And Quran told us again, Wakunu ma sadiqin. Always be with the righteous one. There is no way you can say you are not, you want to be righteous and you are moving with bad people. My people said, if you move with the bad one, you become bad. Ah. Why do you want to do Ashiri? She has helped me. So imagine. So because it's whatever your friend does, you want to do. You are looking on to them. You want to be like them. You want to be like them. You want to behave like them. So we should try as much as possible to encourage our kids. My people always say another adage. Know the child of whom you are. We should always ring this one in their ears. It's very, very important. So they want to pick friends, want to move around, they know who they want to play with. They will know who to play with. And this is help. Charger. So we should try as much as possible to work hand in hand with these kids so that we can actually help them. It will really guide them a lot. Yes. Let me quickly say this point. Though it's meant for the second stage, but I think it's very, very important. The second stage, this is the age that a child wants to be aware of himself or herself. This is the age that you, as the parent, can also reinforce self-awareness, self-discipline, self-esteem, and even self-evaluation in them. This is the age that we should try as much as possible to input all these ones. And if a child is given right portion and dosage of resourcefulness by the parents and mentors, they are good to go. But if those with whom the affairs, that is, these children affairs lie with, they hamper or damage any of the above self, either through discouragement, rebuke, or abuse, which can be physical, emotional, sexual, or even verbal abuse. Some children, it's just maybe the way you address them, the manner you talk to them. That's all. You have crushed them, crush them, and they'll find it difficult to get up. So we should try as much as possible our relationship with these children. When we are modeling for them, let's please try as much as possible be positive role model that these children can emulate. We should show them good example, and they are ready to go with it. I will just quickly, the third part I think I've mentioned, but I'll quickly divert to the sub-theme. Before my screen comes up, because I have something I want to show us in the screen. The whole world today, whether we like it or not, the old ones are going. Then we, my age group, we are following them. Then the youth, they are the highest percentage that we have now. And among that percentage that we have, a large percentage of them, they are into drugs, They are into pornography, a lot of vices that you can never even think of. Let's see what happened about 2 3 weeks ago now. That Imo State girl was killed. A child that went for an interview. I was not even because I personally I've not even seen the picture. But when my daughter was relating to the story to me, the child that committed the offense was just 20 years. And when you see him look innocent, you can never think of that child committing such a crime. But was it that day that he just started? He did not start from there. The parents have not really noticed that the child has been doing such thing and nobody was there to curb him. He continues. Maybe it's even from stealing pencil. He started. From taking people's things, he started. Or from showing tantrum, that child started. Or from just not ready to share his or her toys with others. Because these are little negative characters in children that we parents, if we are not careful, if we allow them to grow with it, it grows to a very big crime. Whether we like it or not, the children that are Boko Haram today, they didn't come from sky now. It's a mother that gave birth to them. They have parents. They have families. Where has it gone wrong? Because these children, just like I said, nobody is bad. Nobody is condemned. But the environment they have found themselves, the way they have been nurtured, has affected them. But we can never lose hope in them because we know definitely if they see good and right hand, right resource, they will still be good. They can still be good. It's just for each and every one of us because we are members of the society. Let us try as much as possible. Everybody, we just have to go back to that communal parenting. My mother's here, it's not their parents alone that showed them the way. They grew up in a community. And even at my own age, 30, 40 years, 50 years back, we grew up in a community. When a child, you are trying to do something that is wrong, and your mother's friend or anybody around your area, they dare see you doing that thing. In fact, the way they will deal with you. And when you get back home, that woman will still come out. The person will come and tell your parents at home. Then you have another treatment at home. Because from right, back, front, left, everybody wants the children to be good. But we are lacking that one now. Do you know why we are lacking it? Do you know where we are lacking it? Should we want to live in mansion? Me and my family alone. And you and your family alone live. Be rearing your children alone. This is the result. We don't even know what is happening to the next level. We don't know what is happening to the next. And whether we like it or not, kids, they are just like fruits in the garden. The fruits in the garden, when it has a very good environment, wow, it grows, it sprouts very well. But when we allow weeds or any other thing to tamper with those good fruits, what will happen to those fruits? They will be affected. They will not grow the way they're supposed to grow. That is exactly what is happening. So we try if you just felt that, okay, no, me and my kids alone, you are not growing, you are not trying, you may have some weeds around you. Please, some of them can be converted to crops. Some of them can be mentored. Let's try and look around. Whoever needs help. And even within ourselves, sometimes, because don't feel that, it's my child. Because sometimes when the children start showing some of these characters, if you felt that, yes, it has gone beyond what you can cope with, speak out. Seek help. Let people assist you. If you see another mother that, please come and help me talk to this child. This is what he's doing. But we hide until what? Yama tubula sarahir. It's not even until the day of judgment that tubula sarahir now. Many of us, whatever we think that is secret, Allah is already showing it now. Not until the day of judgment. So when we felt that children have some character or something that we know that, yes, I cannot curtail this again, please seek help. Look for counselors. Let them guide. Let them talk to. Or even just little admonition that these children will need. Talk to imams. Pray for them. Because just as we have said, the prayer doesn't just end in the at that pregnancy age. We keep on praying for them day in, day out of our life. That is why we have so many of the Rabbana. Rabbana ablana min azwajina wa zuriyatina qurratan ayunin. Do you know what is qurratan ayunin? Oju tutu, amunu tutu. It's none of us that you're right here. You know that kind of spinach? When you see that spinach, wow, very green, shining. Then these children, we want them to be our apple, the apple of our eyes. Because when they grow in the way of Almighty Allah, you will be happy with them. You will love them. People around will see them too. So many verses of Quran that Allah taught us how to pray for these children. Rabbi Auzini and Ashkur Nimatikaleti and Anta Alayya wa ala walidayya wa an amala salihan tadra waslili fi zuriyati inni tubtu ilayka wa inni minal muslimin. That these children, oh Allah, help me in your remembrance. Auzini, make me to be among those that will be thankful to you. Rabbi Auzini Ashkur Nimatikaleti and Anta Alayya wa ala walidayya and my parents. One amala salihan tadra. And for those that are righteous, let us have your pleasure. It's the pleasure of Almighty Allah we are looking for. Waslili fi zuriyati. Make my children righteous. So we need to try as much as possible. It has not ended. How do they say it? The work has not finished. We keep on working and working on these children. A lot of things that are in the society today. But the major vices that will lead to, I will leave the sub-theme for my sister to dwell with. But let me just quickly introduce you to the sub-theme. That is the pornography and the illicit the drug abuse. There's a particular thing that leads to that one, but it is even common, we parents too, we all engage in it. Do you know that vice? And it is the beginning of it. Music. This is what, because any child that wants to go into pornography, yes, music arouses our emotions, it arouses our passion. So be it the next stage now, after you are engulfed in music, you move to either pornography or drug abuse, because they just feel that, yes, some things my friends are doing, I want to be there, I want to do it. And these are the children that, if we have failed, I said this initially, if we have failed to imbibe or to plant iman in them, wallahi, they will just be like this. Whatever the system, whatever has come, that okay, this is what is in state, this is what is in version, this is what is in vogue, they want to move with it. But a child that knows that, no, I'm accountable to my Lord, not just the parents. Where do you want to follow them? A lot of us have children in university, far away, within Nigeria, outside. Do you know what they are doing? For a child that we have imbibed and we have implanted the fire of Almighty Allah in, you don't need to follow them. Because all those little training that we thought we were giving them when they were very small, wallahi billah, Allah will assist them. And even when we are not there, they will be able to do it. Some of our parents are no more. But those ones that they have given us while we were very small, this poem I just remember now that I just quoted. Do you know I learned it when I was like 6 or 7. But I just felt that no, some wordings are not correct. I have to call my sister. I said, you should be able to remember this thing. And she just put me across. And so whatever we have implanted in these children when they are very small, they will go along with it. I will leave Sister Aisha to continue from this. But Gina, that is music, is the beginning of, is the root of all these other vices. So if you are the one that, yes, instead of you to your brain and Quran, whether we like it or not, they are two different things. Quran and music, wallahi, they cannot stay together. It's either you choose one. See, when this my sister, may Allah bless her, when she reads Quran, that is how Quran should be. Allah is zikr like tatmahin al-qulub. It's the remembrance of Almighty Allah that makes you have a kind of, your mind is at rest, you have a tranquil heart, you are at peace with yourself. You can never be at peace with yourself if all these vices are in our world. Maybe when question comes around, I can put some.
Thinking here. I took some notes while she was speaking. And one of the things I found very instructive is the power of prayers through the generations. So it is not just about you and your child, but also through the generations. So when you are doing your prayers as a mother, you should know that there is going to be 3, 4, 5 generations after you. What's going to happen? Okay? The mother of Miriam started the prayer and it followed through. And she spoke about the different stages, even in pregnancy, the first 40 days, second 40 days, third 40 days. These 40 days, is the time some of us are in hospital. We are very sick. So how much prayers do you offer even at that time? Because those are the days that the destiny of the next generation is being formed. What are you engaged in? And then when the child is born, she talked about the first 7 years, the formative years, and the other year of carrot and stick, where there is discipline. And the part that, the carrot and stick part is a part all of us are very familiar with. We just went out now to resolve one. The mother was beating the child in a way that was unacceptable to us. We had to step out to ask her this way. That stick approach is one that I'm not sure there is a mother here who is not used to using 2 hands to beat the child. But then, if you continue doing that up to the time when the child is supposed to be your friend, she mentioned it, that there is a period the child now has to be your friend. Then you will have sent the child away. Okay? All right. While she was delivering her lecture, we had very important people joining us. My Imam from when I was a youth is here with us. Imam Yusuf Abdusalam. You are welcome, sir. Allahu Akbar. He is the husband of Hajia here, and we've known each other for all our lives, inshallah. And it's a family I'm very proud to be associated with. We also have, yeah, it's charging. Yeah. A lot of women also joined us. I will run through some of the names. Hajia Hassana is here. Hajia Fatima is here. There's Hassana, there's Husseina. A lot of us are here. Hajia Halima, Hajia Abdulaziz, Amal, Hajia Hawa. I will still run through all. And our mother is also here. We'll get through the introduction. But let me ask Hajia Aisha Daviruku. I don't want to discuss the paper before you start, but she has introduced you to the sub-theme. And the sub-theme is about what we do, what our children are doing, pornography, and drug and substance abuse, because what they're abusing is more than drugs. I heard that there's something they use Maggi to do, Maggi and Coke. Yes, so when you see your child is addicted to Coke, one day, collect that Coke and taste it. It may not be the same Coke you are used to drinking. There is something they are doing with Coke and Maggi. May Allah guy help us. There is something they are doing. Anyway, we all know of the cough syrup. It's been very popular. But there's so many things they are mixing together these days. So many. So when you see your child is taking too much Coke or too much this, or is holding a pet bottle and walking up and down, please take a sip from it. You might discover what you don't want to know. May Allah help us. Hajia Aisha, over to you.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri. Uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear sisters and brothers in the deen. You can see my voice is very low. It's because of the topic I'm about to discuss. I hope there are no small children here. Please take them out. Because we're going to have some very uncomfortable discussion. Depending on their age, 18 and above. Yes. You know, when it comes to sensitization, it has age specifics. Yes. So, we have to have these uncomfortable conversations because, like Hajia Muhsina said, our children are manna for us. They are a trust. And how do you handle a trust? How you handle a trust is very important. Should I say fortunately or unfortunately, parenting is now a 24-hour, 7-day job. You can't even sleep. Just like Hajia Rafat said, you have to be on alert. Thank you very much, Hajia Musina, for that very succinct presentation on the topic of today. So I'm going to build on what she has discussed so far. We're going to look at what is drug abuse, drug and substance abuse, not only drug abuse, because it goes beyond drug abuse. It involves substance abuse. Now we have, all sorts of mixtures to make those that take it feel high. And when we talk about the maqasid of the Sharia, the real aim of the Sharia. Okay. So when we talk about, the real objective of the Sharia, is there are 5 major ones. We have protection of the deen, protection of lineage, protection of the intellect. And when we talk about, drug and substance abuse, it goes against the maqasid of protection of the intellect, because once the intellect is abused, other things follow. Like some of these people that engage in porn, that engage in sexual abuse, there are other factors, like some of them actually take drug to enable them go out of their senses to now go into this kind of things, this kind of other forms of abuse. So if we are not protecting our intellect, then there is going to be a problem. Let's go back and look at a brief definition of drug and substance abuse. Drug, by its name, is meant to solve a medical issue. Now, when you take a drug that has not been prescribed by a licensed medical practitioner, you're abusing that drug. Even if you take anti-malaria and it has not been recommended to you, it's abuse. So check what you're doing. Like Hajia Musina said, modeling is very important. Don't just say, I can take this drug, it has not been prescribed, but the last time I went to the hospital, the doctor prescribed it for me. And I think I have the same symptoms, so I'm just going to, do self-medication. Self-medication is drug abuse. Substance abuse. We have some people who, sniff, what do you call it now? Petrol. Some people, Lacasera I hear is very popular. They mix it with Maggi and once you mix these substances that are not supposed to cohabit together, it changes the structure, and then the effect it has when you take it changes. And that's the fundamental thing we're talking about when we talk about substance abuse. It becomes that you take it to, some people take it to feel high, or some people take it to enhance sexual performance, and all sorts of reasons. Some people take it to cope with pain. We are not saying that some of these, malaise do not exist. If you have malaria, go to hospital. You will be given, you'll be, a test will be administered. The doctor would know whether the malaria is +1, +2, or whatever plus is. And then the doctor would prescribe as appropriate the drug you're supposed to take. Don't self-medicate, is drug abuse. Then we have people who abuse the cough syrup. Unfortunately, some people who abuse the cough syrup are women, and they do this to cope with some of the matrimonial issues they are going through. We are counselors, we've seen this, we've helped people recover from this, so we understand what we're talking about when we're giving you this. It's backed by statistics. Once again, unfortunately, this malaise the incidence is very high in the north, unfortunately. So let's talk to ourselves, because there are more empowering options, and we're going to discuss that here. What are some of the factors that can lead to, drug abuse? We said there are emotional factors. I made mention of matrimonial issues leading to drug abuse. Some people, when they want to cope with stress, when they want to cope with trauma and all sorts, they resort to drugs rather than, seeking out real practical solutions. What are the real practical solutions? The real practical solutions that we can begin to pay attention to is practicing emotional resilience, emotional intelligence, and emotional wellness. We have to make, just like every day you take your bath, the same thing you need to do when it comes to practicing your emotional wellness, emotional resilience, and emotional intelligence. It's a daily practice. It's the same thing you do every day when you brush your teeth. It should be a habit. You remember that in our first lecture, we talked about forming lasting habits and sustaining them. So Ramadan is the training ground. We have trained on how to control our tongues, how to, control our moods and all sorts. How can we now sustain this post-Ramadan? We can sustain it the same way by being Allah conscious. We shouldn't, relegate Allah consciousness to Ramadan. We should make it a daily practice. Consciousness of Allah, because Allah has told us that He's closer to us than even our jugular veins. Our jugular vein is the innermost of the innermost of us. So when we begin to do this and we begin to learn about emotional wellness and practice it, we begin to learn about emotional intelligence and practice it, and we begin to learn about emotional resilience. This is not something that we can finish in even a day's class. Unfortunately, our educational system is not equipped to teach us how to do this, which is why it is important for us to engage in personal development. Myself and Hajia Musina, we've done a lot of courses, and I offer some courses that has to do with, personal development, self-awareness, self-management, and all that. And these are what you need to face the stressors, the emotional stressors of life, because emotional stressors are a given. Life is meant to be strive and struggle. That's what Allah promised us. How do you now face this strife? How do you face this struggle? The same way our model, the best of mankind, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, faced it with his companions, with his household. He was the best of character, just like Hajia Musina said in her speech. And Allah has gone ahead to tell us that He is our model. It's because it is possible. That's why Allah has told us that He is our model. Allah has told us that He will not give us, give us more than we can bear. He knows that we're able to excel in character. We're able to practice ihsan. And He has told us to do this. And this is one of the ways to, manage our emotions. There is one key aspect that I must talk about under this emotional wellness. It is the fact that we are role models for our children. So we cannot say a child should manage their emotions when we have not shown them how to do it. As parents, how do you discipline your child when they have gone wrong. How you discipline them is an example for how they are going to show up when they are facing, emotional issues. How can you beat a child to stupor when a child has done wrong? And then that child will fight their siblings and you punish them for fighting their siblings. What have you taught the child? You have taught the child that when the child, is upset, the child should overreact. The way you deal with your child when they have messed up is an example of how you are training them for dealing with life stressors. So it is important, like Ajay Rafat said just now, that they went to deal with an issue of a mother that was, beating a child. Is that thing what the child did, does it call for beating? And how has the Prophet ﷺ said we should beat a child? You see some parents, they will wound the body of a child. Is that how the Prophet ﷺ said we should, discipline a child? How did he even discipline his own children or his own grandchildren or the people that were under him? Anas, one of his companions that grew up under his care, said he never even told him, and he would even send Anas on errands. And sometimes Anas would go and do something else, and then he would pass, and Anas would see him and remember and then run away. But he would still do what he asked him to do. He was the most gentlest of men. Can we do this? Yes, we can. It has been a lifelong practice for me. Alhamdulillah, I wouldn't say I don't spank a child, but I can say, bring your hand. Okay, you tell a child, okay, I'm doing this so that you learn this lesson. When you beat without impacting the lesson, it is abuse. And then that child will look for ways to cope with that abuse. And they may resort to drugs to cope with that abuse. They may resort to confiding in their peers, and their peers would give them, some tricks to play on you. Tell me, if you're their friend, would they need to confide in somebody else to give them tricks to come and play on you? So it is very important that we understand that one of these factors that can lead to drug abuse is inability to manage emotional states. Then the next one is psychological factors. Now, some people believe that when you have enough iman, you're unlikely to get depressed. And this is not true. Even the companions at the time, they were asking the Prophet, when will the help of Allah come? So, we are human beings. Even the Prophet ﷺ, he cried when his son Ibrahim died. He was sad and he expressed his sadness. That is in spite of the fact that he knows the promise of Allah for him. We are here today. All of us are part of his legacy. He didn't need a son, but he cried when his son died. Talk less of us. Us. We go through sadness. We go through depression. We go through a lot of psychological issues. Does that mean that your iman is weak or you lack iman? When you go through these issues, it may shake your iman. It has not taken you outside the fold of Islam. It should not take you outside the fold of Islam to seek solutions. The solutions are still here in Islam. Even the Prophet ﷺ had a coach. Angel Jibril was his coach. He would come to him, tell me about this. He would say, the one who is asking knows more than the one being asked. He would say, go ahead and tell me. He was coaching him. Seek people that would be your support system. Talk to people that the companions you move with, they are very important. Move with the right kind of people, because they will boost your iman. Even when your iman drops, they will remind you. They will call you back to Islam. They will tell you where to seek for Sharia compliant solutions. Now, some people have found escape in drug abuse to cope with psychological issues. There are more practical ways that have lasting effects. The solutions have lasting positive effects rather than drug abuse. Please, if you know somebody that is already abusing drugs, in the race to seek for solutions to psychological issues, let the person redirect their steps. Call me, call Hajia Musina, call any counselor. Hajia Rabi Owobajo is a counselor. Call these people. They will help you. Please. They know the right resources to connect you to heal you. We all need others. Even I have my own counselors and coaches, because no individual is an island. When you make yourself into an island, you would not have your support system when you need them. What other things can lead to drug abuse? Social and cultural factors. The kind of people you move with, they are your social cycle. Peer pressure, especially for our young. They are trying to belong. They are trying to feel among. They have a lot of questions. If you are not available to answer those questions, if you are not available to be their shoulder, they are going to look for it somewhere else, unfortunately. And today, we have homes where both the father and the mother are not there. We have emptied our homes. And then we have single parents. How do we cope? Let us seek out sound support systems. We must eat, yes. But it is more important that we feed our souls. Otherwise, that food you are pursuing may choke you. If we are not careful, we'll get choked by what we're pursuing. What's the use of feeding a child's body and neglecting his soul? And then what happens? The child seeks for solutions elsewhere. How many more minutes do I have? Okay, thank you. So it is very important that we feed the souls of our children as much as we feed their body. All the things we are exposed to socially and culturally, like music, like some cultures, they feel that an individual must start smoking or drinking by a certain age. It's like a coming of age right. So let's check this. Other things that we need to consider when we talk about drug abuse are some people are genetically predisposed to, being addicted to drugs if they get exposed to them. That's why you see that not everybody that gets exposed to some form of drugs actually get addicted. You see some people, they smoke, they drink, and nothing happens to them. But just give somebody, a sip and they get knocked out, right? So we should know that modeling is very powerful, and we should not neglect the place of dua. Dua, right? Even before you get married, you start making dua. After marriage, at every point in time when you have affairs with your husband, you make dua. So Allah will keep Shaitan away from whatever he has blessed you with. Now, I have spoken on drug abuse and addiction. I'm going to talk briefly on pornography addiction, because it's happening whether we like it or not. And those, the agents of Shaitan, they are not resting. Your children don't even have to go and look for. Your children don't even have to go and look for, they don't have to browse those porn sites. Once they are in the system like this, it will pop up. And now, most schools, your children have to, like my son, he came to me, he's 13. Mommy, they gave us a note. I want to go to Google Classroom to copy it. So if you don't place ad blockers on your system, those things are going to pop up while your child is busy, jejely doing his own thing. He's doing something else. Those agents of Shaitan, they're busy propaganda. They're busy doing all these things. Because once they're able to catch the soul of children, they've caught the future. Your children, our children, they are the future of Islam. They're the future of this world. Once they're able to catch children, then, and forget it. It is not only in when you see people naked. We have soft porn everywhere. About 4 years ago, I stopped paying for Go TV subscription in my house. When they started this, the cartoons started showing LGBT content. For those who don't know, which is why I say they should take those children away. Lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders, LGBT. When I was about 10 years or even more, I didn't know what sex was, like the practice. But children nowadays, they will tell you, those people are in love. I say in love, Barrow. What do you know by the meaning of love? Now our children know what LGBT is. When I was their age, I don't know what sex was. Tell me, where is the future? If these children are already exposed to this thing at this age, I stopped paying for Go TV subscription. My children will bring flash home and put it inside the TV. I packed up the TV. Because I went to get them Islamic content to be watching on TV. But they decided to, they have flash drive now. They will copy films. I packed up the TV. And then I monitor them when they want to watch something on the system. My password is there. You don't know my password, so how are you going to get in? And I monitor how they go out, how they come in. I monitor their friends. The other time, I saw one of their friends where I was not supposed to see him. I went to talk to the parents. I say, see where I saw your child. Because these conversations, they are very important for us to have. If we don't have them, if we don't check our children today, they are the future of the Ummah. If we don't train them well, if we don't give them the right kind of Islamic education, if we don't engage them, engage their minds, engage their hearts, engage their soul now. Now, if you ask your children what are their values, do they even know what values are? You need to, because values are those things on which they anchor their sense of self-esteem, their sense of who they are, everything of theirs. So they know that, okay, my values does not, allow me watch porn. My values, even if it's right in my nose, is not something that I'm going to default to. So we have to be very, parenting is a 24-hour job and it's for 7 days, everything. We need to have Islamic knowledge, personal development knowledge, and porn education knowledge. And the impact on children from the course I did in Australia, the statistics are by the age of 14, 94% of children are already exposed to porn. Porn is now everywhere. If you turn like this, you see one naked lady going in the name of freedom of dressing. 10% of total video visitors are children. 10% of videos of people who visit video sites, they are children. And once the eyes see, the heart will register and the nerves will pick up. Why do you think we have a rise in it's not an excuse. Why do we have a rise in sexual abuse? Now, 64% of children are learning about sex from porn. And we all know that porn is not the practical way sex is done. Imagine. Is that how sex is done? No. But once they learn it, they would now, I've had clients who came to me, they can't achieve sexual fulfillment because they're busy watching porn. Some of them cannot even perform in the bedroom because when you self-pleasure, it's very difficult for somebody else to pleasure you. When an individual is involved in self-pleasuring, they always need the next level and the next level and the next level. Recovery. They have to be able to submit themselves for counseling and therapy and recovery. Some of them are not willing to do this. Shame will not allow them come out. So their wives will run to us. And we can't help your wife. It's you that need help. Some women are involved in this. It's not only men. Yes. Some women are involved. Some of my clients are involved. And we have, set up a recovery plan for them. Do you know it gets as bad as some people even went fasting. They are unable to control themselves. And some of my clients, let me tell you one thing. It is right in their homes that they were introduced to porn. One was introduced by her brother. The other one was introduced by her uncle who was sexually molesting her. So tell me, in a Muslim home, if this is happening, where is the hope of the Ummah? The hope is still there. We need to come out and have these conversations so that those people that are doing it, they would be afraid that they may be exposed, and then they will start taking correction. Now, what are the impacts? The impact on children are they experiment what they see. And if they don't have avenues to experiment it, they will experiment it on their siblings. Addiction, it can cause, when they are exposed to this, they can become addicted to porn and masturbation. Okay, thank you. And they practice high-risk sex. Of course, any sex that is outside of marriage is high risk. But when we talk high-risk sex, we're talking about without protection, likelihood to, for them to get pregnant, not only get pregnant, attempt to now terminate the pregnancy, which may lead to them losing their lives with quacks, because no professional doctor will do abortion for you. Sexual violence, like what we had in the Port Harcourt incidents. Separation of sexuality from love. When people get exposed to porn, they now confuse sex and love because they don't understand the difference. Children who get exposed to porn develop mental health issues. Some of the solutions, let's become more aware of the sources of exposure like I've discussed. Movies, we have sex porn in movies now. Porn sites, music videos. You say you are doing music. What now concerns you showing nude human beings or people having sex? Is that what you're talking about? Sometimes it's not even related, right? Social media is a huge risk factor. Then we need to create safe environment for our children to discuss these issues. Right from when my children were conscious, I started educating them about, body safety. Read up on body safety and tell your children, they are not too young. Tell them, let nobody touch them in their private areas, and they should not touch somebody else. Let them understand. Once you tell them long enough, it will stick. It's garbage in, garbage out. What you tell them will stick. But ensure that it's age appropriate. They are age appropriate sex education. Don't make any issue taboo in your house. Let them discuss it. Ask them questions. What do they know? If they ask you questions, elicit what they know, then answer them as appropriate. Provide opportunities for your children to be active. All those energies. As soon as my children's ball is getting old, I'm buying them another one. Let them go out and play. Take them on outings. Expose them to the world in Sharia compliant manner. Give them Sharia compliant games to play. Please, all those violent games they play, what do they call them? Mortal Kombat. Please don't allow them play them. Because it's garbage in, garbage out. They'll find ways to practice it. Let them read books. Engage them in reading books and developing their intellect. And most important of all, there is what we call emotion coaching. And you, us as parents, we're responsible for teaching our children to tame their emotions. I tell my children, it is not the feeling. Even Allah tells us that He will not call us account for our thoughts, but what we do with them. So it is what we do with those feelings. Teach them to control their urges. Because as they are growing up, their bodies will start responding. You cannot take, in short, if their bodies are not responding to some certain things, you should be worried. You cannot stop them from having those thoughts, or sometimes, I taught my children about wet dreams, about what they should do. funny enough, when I was teaching them how to take their bath, purification bath when they were about 10, they told me, they've taught us in school. I was behind. So even ask them, what do they know? What did they teach them in school? So that you know, especially for those that put their children in un-Islamic schools, it is your responsibility to make sure your children is getting the right education. So teach them emotion coaching and ensure that they understand. Tell them to tell you what they understand. And may Allah make it easy for us to this amana that He has given us. When it gets too much, pray. Open your arms and pray, and Allah will drop the solutions for you. May Allah forgive me for where I have erred, and may Allah make all of us understand what I have said and implement it even better than I have said it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Takbir is very interesting. I'm sure I was looking into the faces of parents. I saw some people shaking their heads. I saw people, you know, the mood was fluctuating between, what do I know? Oh, I should have done this. Oh, did I do the right thing? I think as parents, we continue to check and ask if we are doing the right thing. I think it was 2 weeks ago, a video went viral. It's a video of a girl who is barely 7 or 8. She has not even bothered. There's nothing in her chest. And she screened her first pornography by herself. You watched it, ma. It was heartbreaking to me. Yes. In fact, there were 2 girls. Yes. They have smartphones. So they put on the video and recorded their first pornography. They stripped themselves and were doing things with themselves. 2 girls. And then they shared their video. That was a wake-up call for us as parents. That when you hand them over these things over to them, you really don't know what they will do with it. I know a doctor who once, he's a gynae professor. And he's one of those advocating for safe pregnancy and right to abortion. Why? His daughter died from abortion, his own daughter. And he's a gynae doctor. And he's crying that he wished the daughter came to him. He understood that there is a gap in parenting at that time, because your daughter is pregnant and couldn't come to the parent to say, I'm pregnant. And she chose to do abortion. And definitely it's going to be a quack doctor. It's going to be by the side. Many of them are not even medical doctors. She died in the process. I have an experience once. My son, I discovered he was limping. We were traveling. And when he was limping, and I said, Mustafa, what's going on? Why are you limping? He said, nothing. And then I looked at the leg again. He has a big injury on his toe. And the toe was 3 times its size. And I screamed. I said, how? When? He said, you see, that's why I didn't tell you. I know you will freak out. That's why I didn't tell you. He said, no, you have to tell me. Our emotions sometimes, we scare them. It was that day I learned to check my emotion. I'm not sure I've succeeded. I still need coaching. Yes, I still need coaching, but I became more conscious of how I express myself. Because once you do that, they just go into themselves and they never talk to you again. And you think all is well. All may not be well. I'm going to pass the microphone now because I know a lot of people have questions or comments, right? Yes? Okay. A lot of people have comments and questions. Let me, please pass me that mic. Where are the ushers? Haji, come and pass this microphone to Hajia. While she's coming, I think the idea behind this project for today is that we should have a conversation. I have issues about my son. I've discussed with the coach, Aisha, and we are trying to resolve it. And when I did some introspection, I think the fault majorly was mine. I've come to the realization that I probably am not communicating as much. Oh, to the toad. Oh, that was we had to abort the trip. We aborted the trip. Otherwise, he would have lost the toe because the fingernail was already out. Yes, gangrene will have set in. We aborted it. We went for medical care and it was resolved. But it took time for it to heal. He said something fell on it. And because when he saw it, he said if he told mommy now, mommy will start shouting that he was not being careful. And so he preferred to keep it like that so that mommy will not shout that he's not being careful. You can see the tragedy. Hajia, your comment, please. Hold the mic properly. Yeah. Is it on?
Yes, it's on.
Okay, great.
I'm very grateful to be here to witness this wonderful lecture. Hello? Okay. A lot have been said today. I have a relative. Even our so-called Islamic schools too. There are things we need to checkmate. Unfortunately or fortunately, some things are going on that carelessly we as a mother we take for granted. Are you getting it? Even females, your child bestie, you get it. This friend, unfortunately, she's my daughter already. I've started watching the porn, you'll be sending, and when the mother caught her, he said, this somebody that know Islam more than you. This is what introduced. We were confused. She was confused whether to cry, whether to scream. She don't know what to do. But she said what she did that moment was she just glorified Allah. Because she have tried her best for this girl. The dad is late. She started picking up some attitude after the demise of her father. She started withdrawing back. So sometimes we do some things thinking we are trying to help somebody or we are trying to help our child. We need to be careful in some models we claim to think is best. Unfortunately enough, when my auntie was like saying you have to go to meet the girl, this is her cousin. She said, our third cousin, our family, she said no, she don't want to make friends with her. Because she noticed that even right from school, there are some attitudes she used to do in school. So long your father did not have this car, you're not my friend. Which her mother was saying to her that is not a good Muslim. Are you getting? But she did not, since what mommy says is final, she now decided to get close and this is the outcome. So for me, I just feel that may Allah help us. It's not easy at all. And on this level now, what can you advise this woman to do? Are you getting me? And me, I believe in askars. Alhamdulillah, I'm from Alhamdulillah for my parents, the way they brought us up. Sometimes our husbands can mock us, as in, maybe if you are saying something subconsciously, maybe you say, I was like, they'll say, all the time you'll be saying, is it shaitan you want me to call? You understand? But those things are very important. Let's try to tell our kids that whatever they are doing, they should fear Allah and they should call on to Allah and Allah will see us through. So please, my question here, ma, in this scenario, what will you advise this woman to do? And as a daughter, because she's 15 now, going to 16, what will you want? What is your advice?
Thank you so much.
What will you ask?
Thank you. Before Hajia will respond, we have people here who are who anchor teenage programs, who are, and I'm sure teachers have more experience in this thing, because what we parents don't see at home, they are seeing them in the schools, or what we are too busy to see at home, they are seeing in the educational sector. Hajia Salamat.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. In the case of what we are discussing here today, most parents are making it difficult for teachers. I am a teacher. When we report cases to them, they vehemently tell us, no, my child cannot do this. No, I don't think so. I think he learned it from school or she learned it from school. Most children bring it from their homes, where they learn it from maybe their drivers, their security men, where the parents entrust the children to them. And when they bring it to school and we try to let the parents know what is happening at home behind their back, they don't want to believe us. Instead, trusting their children. I think parents to also go back from the home front and really check on what is happening from the home front. Thank you very much.
Hajia Salamatu. A lot of parents are the reasons why their children are not doing well, because the parent is the one blaming the school rather than taking responsibility. Do I have one more comment or question? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, doctor.
I just want to make a contribution. When I was coming to this, I actually wondered, what am I going to hear that will be different? My baby is 33 years plus. And my first is 40 plus. So it's like I have nothing to pick from here. But sitting here, I realized that I have a lot to pick because I am dealing with my grandchildren, which means that I can interact qualitatively even with my grandchildren. But the point that is beautiful about what has happened here is that we all need sensitization. As we are growing up, we need to look for information. Even these parents that are possibly in denial when their teacher tells them something, they disagree with it. It's because some of us are from backgrounds that you can't even imagine that these things will take place. So when they tell you it's happening, it's kind of weird and you cannot relate it with what you know and feel in your heart. But with exposure to information like this, parents will get more conscious. So by all means, if you see young parents coming up, maybe you take it as a duty to try to get them informed about what is happening around. You take it upon yourself to better the society by teaching upcoming ones the things that you know. For instance, when I move around, especially around young people, they don't even solicit my advice before I give them. If I see you going, I say, come. Which class are you in now? What are you doing? Are you getting counseling in school? What do you think? Where do you want to find yourself in the next 5 years? Complete strange children, but I get satisfaction from doing it. So as Muslim women, as women who are aware, because we are now aware, we should aim to make the society a better place. by engaging in whatever we think will engage to make the society a good place. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once again. Alhamdulillah for Islam. Alhamdulillah ala ni'matil Islam. There is nothing that is not stated. There is nothing that Rasulullah has not actually taught us. Yes. As human being, one time or the other, we must have trials. And as a believer, when your trial comes, you try as much as possible, apart from accepting that, oh, Allah has destined this thing will happen to me, then find a way around it. See what you can do. See what you can do to alleviate that problem. It is very, very important. You don't just say because, oh, I have problem, I will keep on praying. It doesn't end in prayer now. After prayer, you must take a baby step and see what is the next thing to do. So for such a mother, because both the mother and the child, they need help. The child needs help because she has been traumatized, whether we like it or not. So for them to be able now to discover that, for her not to feel stigmatized, let us show her love and say that, okay, yes, this is a problem that has happened to you, but it has a solution. Let us now see how we can, all those problems, those people that are, is either we change our environment. It is very, very important. She needs to avoid those people for a very long time so that that thing can clear off her brain. And whichever environment is that she is going, she needs help. Let us now grow up in the new environment that, okay, when you feel or you see such people, let's teach them how to secure themselves. Security is very, very important. Let them know how to secure themselves. When somebody introduces this kind of things to you, what is the step you need to take? And you just don't, even if you now say, okay, oh, I'm not doing, there's nothing wrong in that child allowing adults around them to know this person is into such acts. Because she keeps quiet, she doesn't agree. She will introduce to another one that will agree. Before you know it, that's why it will go around in the society. So that child needs to help in that aspect. Then the mother herself too. You need help. You don't need to keep quiet over such issues. If you don't have solution to it, please look for those ones that can help. There are counselors around. And that child not only does talking like that, she may still need medical help. She needs to be checked. They need to check on her and see what is her state of health. Allah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Haja Musina. Thank you. So, like Haja Musina has said, there are multi-dimensional approach to, dealing with that kind of situation. What is a given is that 15-year-old girl has been traumatized. So now you need to check to what extent. And then broadly, like what Haja Musina has said, changing her environment is key, and then checking to what extent she was traumatized to know what other things she may need. And like our mother said, one key thing for redirecting an individual is giving them a picture of themselves in the future. And then they get to understand that, okay, this path that I am on does not align to the kind of person I want to be in the future. When you are able to do this effectively, there are psychometric tools to do this. When you're able to do this effectively, you set their sights on walking the path to that their great self in the future, so that they know that what I am doing right now does not align with my long-term future goals and plans. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Are there more comments? Yes. While I walk, okay, thank you. I think this mic is doing better than this one. Yes, let me give it. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
I want to say Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alameen, for having this two resourceful, powerful Muslim sisters talking to us, especially on the issues that most people used to run away from. But meanwhile, it's living with us and it's destroying our society. I want to advise mothers. They tend to look outside, that maybe it's the people outside that are abusing our daughters. Sometimes the person abusing your daughter is inside the house. We had an experience of a child who was being abused by father. The child was very young, about 10. The mother works in the bank. But she noticed that that child's mouth always have a very offensive odor, despite the brushing and everything. So she took the child to see a doctor. And then the doctor took a swab from her tongue. And the result now showed the child had mouth gonorrhea. Yes. And was like, the woman was like, how? Where? How? So the child now told the mom, that it is daddy. He said, daddy used to come to the room. He will put his pimpy in my mouth and said, do suck it until something like a camel comes out. And then instead for the woman to confront her husband, he told the child that you want to spoil my marriage. I regret having you the day I had you. So it continued. And each time she has a small baby, she was nursing. So each time the husband is going to that room, he will put his phone on silent and pretend as if he's going to do security check to ensure that the house, the doors, the environment is secure. So that even when the wife is calling, because the phone is on silent, he does not ring out. He goes to do what he wants to do and he comes back. So the mother was like, okay, I've seen somebody who has been talking of this sexual abuse, like these are sisters. So she decided to take the child there. And like she advised, he asked the mother, leave this child with me. Let us talk one-on-one. So the child opened up and told her, I said, okay, does this still come? He said, yes, but has he ever had the other one? He said, no, but that's the next one. He said, we teach her. Yes. So he said, okay, you know what you are going to do? When next daddy comes, since your mother is denying, you are going, he said, sometimes the daddy will say, suck, you should suck his breast. He said, okay, when he tells you that, you know what you are going to do? You are going to bite that breast very hard. She said, okay. He said, but what we have discussed, don't tell your mom. She said, okay. So the guy went out as usual. So when he now said, okay, just suck from here, I will now teach you. So the child bites the father very well, beats the father very well, took part of his stomach, beat him very well. And he came back to the room dragging his legs. And the wife was like, where have you, what is wrong? I'm not feeling fine. I said, but when you were walking out of this room, you were very, very agile. And the child was smart enough, just like mommy was talking of grandchildren. The child phoned the grandparents to say, this is what is happening. Before 9 a.m., they were already in Benin, in the house, without the guest mother knowing what was going on. So when the grandparents came and the man dressed that was going to work, they said, you go nowhere. Sit down, what have you been doing? He said, no, nothing. She said, okay, remove your shirt. Remove your shirt. When he now removed the shirt, they asked him, how did you get this bite? The woman was now looking. That's the man's wife. The thing now dawned on her that she never believed her child when the child was telling her what was happening. So as mothers, we shouldn't love our husband to the extent that we are destroying the future of our children. And from that day, the grandparents took all the female children, because she now told them that she used to do one by one with them. And that's their biological father, not stepfather. So may Allah help us. There is a lot to learn. And so wherever we can seek knowledge, let us seek. And wherever we have mistakes, let us open up and seek help so that we can secure the future of our children. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam. Whose heart is broken? My own is broken into shreds. You know why? Because as a women, we love our, especially if it's a stepfather. Most stepdaughters are abused. Most of them. But we love our husbands so much that we don't even want to talk about it. We've seen fathers abuse. I've seen practically. It's not love, right? Self-preservation.
And unfortunately, it is not only female children that are abused. Even male children get abused. Sometimes even women abuse male children. Sometimes women abuse female children. So let's not stop at, being paying attention to only our female children. Pay attention to both. Because, and one unfortunate thing about abuse is it continues as a cycle if you don't check it. Abused people, because that's all they know, they are likely to abuse others. You would think that, because they are abused, they will not be able to abuse. Unfortunately, it can become a cycle. So we should watch out. And as women, we have to be courageous. We have to be courageous and take the right step. How can that woman stay in that house and be mentally stable? How can she have sexual relations with that husband and be mentally stable? Some people do marriage at all costs, and it costs them a lot. If you're not careful, it will cost you dunya and it will cost you akhirah. Because Allah has not placed a burden on you. You have just decided to place it on yourself. Allah has not placed it on you. Allah has given you options. If you have decided to take a burden on yourself that Allah has not placed on you, please be ready to answer for it on the day of judgment. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Hajia. And if you recall the case of Imran, the boy in the school of the deaf and dumb that was sexually abused, we intervened in that case, and it turned out that his abuser was also a victim of abuse. And he is in turn abusing somebody else. So when a child is abused, stopping the abuse at that moment is not the end of the journey. That child needs counseling, needs professional counseling. Otherwise, they grow up to become abusers.
So what I'm saying is, what we are telling ourselves now is to be vigilant at all times and with all situations. Because if you are vigilant, if you look, you will see. If you have a project done and auditors come, they must see something. They must ask you questions, even if you are going to straighten it. So, what? An auditor. Yes. So please, it is that you should look and don't look the other way if you find any small issues.
And one of the other thing I'm taking away is for you grandmas that you have more work to do raising the grandchildren than we can do. The reason is that we are away from the house all the day. We leave the house 7:30 at the latest. We come back 4:35, depending on traffic and where you live. If you live in our exit at the other side, you will get home at 9 p.m., right? Then by the time we come home, The children are, hey, go and sleep, prepare for school. You brush over everything. We are really seeing in the upbringing of our children. Haja Halima.
I like to start with the porn aspect of it. Hello? Can you hear me? The porn aspect of it that I like to speak about is that pornography is real. It's real among parents, and it's real among children and their words. Parents who perpetuate themselves in pornography, their children will take after them. And if parents don't perpetrate themselves in pornography, then they need to really look into their children's guiding their children and paying attention to their children. My advice to parents and underage children is that do not give your children Android phones. Do not give your children Android phones. Give your children analog phones that they can just call and otherwise. Because giving your children an Android phone, there's a lot with it. Besides the pornography, they use it to cheat in exam halls. So as much as possible, if you insist to give your children Android phone, then you put a tracker on your children's phone. And if you don't know how to put a tracker, go back to where you bought that phone. Tell those who sold the phone to you to help you put a tracker on it so that it can block a lot of the pornographic sites for you. Peer pressure is a big problem. You have children, you have your children's friends, you don't know your children's friends' parents, and you don't know anything about your children's friends' family. They just come around and say, these are my friends, and you don't care the background of those people. In a society where you don't have guidance and counseling centers in every corner, where you walk into or walk your children into, you are your own children's guidance, and you are the one to counsel them. And when you don't do that, you find yourself to blame. So inadequate counseling, inadequate parental guidance, and you find out that you take your children to school, you don't know the antecedent of those schools. Pornography is actually striving so high in schools, whether it's mixed schools or girls' schools or boys' schools. Because the girls' schools are breeding lesbians. The mixed schools are breeding homosexual. And these things are real. We see them as journalists every day online, and we intervene in them. And then your words, you just take in words from nowhere. Somebody recommended you brought. That was maybe was somewhere you don't know why she was sacked or he was sacked, and you just bring the child in, and they start abusing your children. And because of that, of lack of parental care, you don't know what is happening to your children. And then when it comes to drugs, Katsina and Kano, Katsina is number 1 in women drug abuse. Then Kano is next. In Katsina, the women are selling their wrappers, selling their jewelries, selling their shoes and valuables just to stay in drugs. You mustn't stay in abusive marriage. You mustn't stay in marriage that is not guided by Allah. No matter what the society say, no matter what your mosques and your opinion leaders say, make up your mind on what you actually want. You allow the men and their attitude to drive you into drug, and then you are killing yourself, soaking yourself in drugs. Your little children, the man sacks the woman and sacks the children. Your children are getting abused into drugs too because their mother is involved. Can women just call themselves to order? That if you are not in that marriage, it's not the end of your life. Go and empower yourself so that whatever the men do to you, have a leeway. And once you are empowered, even the men are afraid of you because they know the extent to which they can do certain things to you. And you let them know that you are empowered. Please, women, take care of your sons, take care of your daughters, pay attention to them. Almost 100%, no matter the time you get home. Even if they are sleeping, first thing in the morning, when they wake up, ask them who touched you and where did the person touch you.
The conversation is getting interesting. Let me finish from this side, then I'll come to that side, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala.
Wa alaikum salam. Please speak louder.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I just want to add to
Do your phone.
what she has said. I just want to add to what she has just finished saying now. Especially the houses, my people. Especially the houses, my people. Please, in any marriage, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Wana Hausawa nake so in yi maku bayani ko in yi muku magana a kan zaman aure da muke yi. Wannan aure da kuke gani ba dole ba ne. Ba dole ba ne. In za ki iya rike mutuncin kanki, ba za ki yi zina ba. Za ki iya zaman kanki, kina yawaita azumi. Za ki tafiyar da rayuwarki yadda ya kamata. Amma idan in baki iyawa, auren nan ya zama dole sai kin yi shi, to ki nemi namijin da ya san mutuncinki, ya damu da rayuwanki. In wani auren ma kika yi kina da 'ya'yan, ki kasance cewa ke mai kula ce, kina lura da 'ya'yanki. Domin abubuwan da ke faruwa da yawa. Ku rage ba 'ya'yanku lemon zaƙin nan, ban san me ake kiran shi ba, fizzy drinks. A cikin wannan drinks ɗin suke zuba abubuwa a ciki. Abubuwa yanzu in kika ɗauki tomtom, kika samu kowane fizzy drink kika saka a ciki, a sa shi a kan rana, yaro ya ɗauka ya sha zai bugu. Abin da ba ku taɓa sani ba, 'ya'yanku kuma suna yi. Kuma a arewa ne ake yi. Kuma saboda kasancewa mu mun yi sake, ba mu kula da 'ya'yanmu ba. Muna kallon su muna ganin cewa lemo kawai suke sha. To ba lemo ba ne. Ku kiyaye, ku lura. Na biyu, wa'yansu mazajen sun zamanto mugaye ne ga mata. Saboda wani namijin shi a rayuwar shi kawai ya kuntata ma mace kawai shi ne yake mishi daɗi a rayuwar shi. To in kika lura da haka, kika ga zama ya zama miki dole, nemi sana'a. Ko ya hana ki sana'a, akwai sana'a da zaki a cikin gida, domin mafi yawan lokaci rashin sana'an nan da ba ma yi shi ne ke kawo mana matsala, don mun zauna 100% muna jiran namiji ya mana komai. To ku matan arewa ku tashi tsaye, ku nemi sana'a ku yi kaman ba gobe. Shi ne rayuwanku, shi ne ƙarfinku, shi ne security ɗinku. In mace tana da abin yi, ko namiji ya shekara yana wani abu, ba za ta ma san yana yi ba, saboda yana da tana da something is keeping her busy. So ba ta da lokaci, ba za ta lura da abin da namiji yake yi ba. To a nemi sana'a mata, kar a zauna, a nemi kuɗin biki, a nemi kuɗin zumunci, a nemi kuɗin kula da 'ya'ya, a nemi kuɗi a sa 'ya'ya a makaranta, don namiji bai damu ba. Wahalanki yau shine hutawanki gobe. In kuka sake kuna cikin wahala, ku lura, kar ku yi bacci.
May Allah reward Hajia. I was looking forward to a translation in Hausa, and she has succeeded in helping us to do that. Okay?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Assalamu alaikum. My name is Salamatu Ibrahim. I want to share experience with us in terms of this Android phone. Our sister here said we should not give Android phone to our children. I did that before, but I later see that it's very necessary to give them. So when I give them my son Android, he now went to friends, I have Android phone, I want to share this. So he came in with so many videos. When he came in, I said, okay, let me have a look at your video. I saw some funny jokes and so on. I sat with him and said, okay, come. This video, see this one is not good for you. This one is not good for you. I select the videos the ones that are good, the ones that are not good. I asked him, who gave you? He now told me his friend. I said, okay, call that friend for me. So when the friend came, I said, come on, friend, this thing you are watching will run your life. Do you want to be useless in life? He said, no. I said, okay. If you want to be useful to yourself, not even to your parents, to yourself, please, whomever is giving you this video, tell the person that I don't like it. And that is how I help myself. In fact, if I'm on Facebook, I call my son, come, let's watch this thing together. So that he will know the implications of some videos on Facebook, on WhatsApp. In fact, there are some, I say, you see this one, if you watch it, sometimes you see friend requests on Facebook, people that you don't know. And they are like that. I tell my son, please, these people you don't know, don't run your life. Make sure that they give you videos, tell them, no, I don't like it. This is not Islamic videos. So when you say we should not give our son Android phone, in fact, they go out to get it from their friends. My son did that. I didn't give him, but when I discovered he's going to get from his friend, I said, okay, there's need to give him. All I do now is, come here, let me look at your phone. He's gotten to 16 years now, if I'm not mistaken. I said, come, let's have a gist. So that is how me and him, we are friends. We share the video, we watch together, we Google together. It was in primary 3 when they say, they gave me an assignment. School are encouraging Android phone. They gave me an assignment that you should go and find that family video. Family root, I mean. So we have to Google what is family root. We now Google it. We saw a tree with branches here and there. A primary 4 child giving assignment of Google. So what do you do? So may Allah help us.
Yeah, it's a very thin thread. As you were speaking, our Imam, our national chief Imam, the most respected Imam Fuad Adeyemi came in with my also very well respected Imam Salah and all their entourage. They came in. We'll take some comments from this side before we come back to them. Hajia, your hand was up earlier.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hold it like this.
Ajay Aisha and the other sister. Can I? Thank you for exposing us to this topic. Each time you do your lecture, I feel like you should keep on talking. I don't ever want you to stop because you give several examples that no matter how difficult the lecture is, one must learn a few things from it. Thank you for your efforts. All the problems you have highlighted here, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So many of them. For instance, I have a few examples. Those of us that work in the school system, we interact with these children a lot. Maybe a child who bullies his friends, who beats his parents, who beats adults, and maybe a teacher tries to involve the parent, and they'll just laugh over it. That's how it begins. Or we'll sometimes find students kissing themselves in the dark corners. Naturally, some will turn blind eyes. For example, I will always caution them and threaten that I'll follow them to their houses. And on the spot, they'll start begging me. And some will start giving me, super mama, we won't do it again. It's a deal, it's a deal, right? Then we also have some who will be touching some others' sensitive parts. And then some parents too will turn blind eyes. Some teachers too will turn blind eyes. But these are a few areas that you need to correct at tender age so that they don't grow up with some of these vices. But in all, what's my take on this matter is the solutions lie with the Muslim women. Why? Because Some of our friends have told us, this is why I like Islam. Some of the Christians come to marry our Muslim sisters. Some of the Christians hang out with our hijab girls instead of moving with their the other peer, those who are undressed, who are not covered very well. They would rather go with the hijab girls. At a point, I was worried, and I discovered there was no any form of love between them. They like the hijab girls, and some of them will end up marrying the Christians. Well, it's not bad, but what we need to do now is to extend these parenting styles to the world. It begins with us. It begins with me and you. I think we should keep on the campaign.
Thank you so much, Hajia. I appreciate those comments. It begins with us. We all must take responsibility. Hajia, you were talking.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Well, mine is like an experience. There was a time when I was a young girl. Around the age of yes, when I was around the age of 13, 14. So there was a time our gate man came upstairs. I can't recall what he actually came to ask for. So when he came, I responded to him and he left. So I was the only one at home then. So when my mom returned, I told her that, Mom, so person came and asked for something and I gave him. Ever since then, my mom started observing me. So sometimes whenever I eat food and my tummy protrudes outside, she will call me, Halima, come here. Are you sure? Are you sure that day that so person came, he did not touch you? I said, Mommy, he didn't. Could you believe that whenever I sleep, my mom will wake me up in the night and say, Halima, come. Are you sure? That day. I said, Mommy, he didn't even step in. He was by the door. After I responded to him, he left. I can't even recall how that matter died off. And whenever I remember it, I would say, Mommy, could you remember that time? We'll start laughing. So most at times when our parents don't open up to the kids and tell them at the appropriate time that this thing is not good. Like when I was young, she told me that this thing is not good up till date. It sticks to my head. That whenever I see that thing, I will have a negative energy towards that thing. I just don't know why it's not good, but I know that it's not appropriate. So I just flee from that thing. Well, alhamdulillah for my parents, for the training they've given me. I pray Allah reward them with Jannatul Firdaus.
But we need to also correct you. Stop saying when I was young, because you are still young. Say when I was younger. I know that oftentimes when we were younger too, we want to feel younger. When we were younger, you will be like, I'm old enough, I'm a big person. Because I know that our national imam, our father, our mentor, our leader here has a lot of engagement for today. Let me, with respect, give him the microphone for him to give us. Yeah, Imam, could you please step here so that the cameras will be able to capture you properly? For him to, again, give us his thoughts. And while he's coming, we want to thank him for all the support. But for him, this project will not even have come into fruition.
Well, I want to welcome all of us to this once again. I've been part of the program since you started, even before you started. I've been arguing with your coordinator. I say, Mosinat, is it which Mosinat? They have been telling me, is this Mosinat that we trained her when she was small like this and she's now?
Allahu Akbar.
Say, if she's the one, I'm waiting for her. Yes, now, don't let me tell history here. So you better just Well, Alhamdulillah, it's been a very good experience. But I want to tell you that when you started, I was there with you on the program on Zoom. So I've been following and monitoring it. I want to congratulate you that, wallahi, this is a wonderful thing. There are so many things that are not easy to be said, and we'll be monitoring it. And I know and I pray that Allah, in His infinite mercy, will make your children the best of the children. Those who are asking Allah for children, Allah, in His infinite mercy, will grant you blessed children. And those who want to add more, Allah will give you better and better ones. I think this is what is missing now. I've been following all what we have been discussing. Why I didn't join you on time? I've been with Lagos 2, they are doing a program or similar things like this, and I have to make a little presentation too, which we've done. Well, Alhamdulillah, this program, I'm afraid, is it weekly? We said we should be doing it or monthly. That's like, nah. You know, red people are very lazy. Do you know red people are very lazy? Thank God I'm not a red woman. We have seen that this thing will bring a lot of good results. It will. I still want to encourage you to please, for Allah's sake, because of the generations that are coming, I think we have to continue this program. Probably once in a month, probably twice in a month. I don't know. Some people that now, please do. You said you are saying something about phone. If you watch out this morning, was it this morning or yesterday? I actually discussed something on this social media. There is an application that you can actually use to monitor your children's phone. If you don't know it, if you don't know it, as you've invited your speakers today, look for the people who are experts in this application thing. Invite them to come and teach you how to do it. You can actually monitor your children from your phone. When they want to go to a particular site, they will seek for permission from your own. You are the one who will permit it whether to work or not to work. And you can also know what they are doing on your phone. Parenting is not a work for a lazy person. It's actually a serious job. I remember in Al-habibiyyah Academy, when we ask people to introduce the work what they are doing, the moment you say, we want to be proud for you to tell us that you are a housewife. Because many children, many women, they are afraid of saying that they are housewife. That is the business or the, what do you call it? The work that will last forever. So I always want to appreciate. So if you want to be a mother, you have to learn how to be a mother, and you mother very well. And secondly, I've been hearing talking about so many things about guest child. I will recommend, I don't know if the secretary is here, we have a book called Managing Teen Issues. All these things are actually there. Okay. So we have a book which we produced in Al-habibiyyah. I don't know that we can have one. One hour. Can you get your people? I don't know that we can have one. I've seen one in the store, some in the store now. Managing it, we just produce them, but we have not been giving it out. Managing teen issue, Islamic approach. All these things we are discussing actually the paper was initially written by Dr. Munira Okulai. I don't know whether you remember, but it has been reviewed and improved on to contain current issues which we are having now. Once again, I want to thank everybody that is involved in this, the organizer of this program, all the red people, all of them. I want to thank you for this work. I pray Allah will reward you. And there is a woman here, I only call her been busy. She always find time to be here. Aja, you are welcome once again. There's Aja Memun. I don't know the work we have given to her. I've not been seeing her in recent time. Have you given her anything? Why are you underutilizing her? I've told you, don't allow that woman to be indolent, and don't make her to fall sick, because I know what she can do. Aja, you are welcome. And to our speakers, I envy you. You know, when women are doing extremely well, they are pride to us. But some of the time they become a challenge to us, especially these Muslims that I don't know when last I saw her. I don't know where she is now. And now that God has brought you back here, then we have many issues uh, to solve. Allah will help us. And once again, we want to welcome you, and I want to thank each and every one of us that this is just the beginning of good things. When we come together, we can actually solve many problems together. And I pray that Allah, in His infinite mercy, as we are getting to the end of this month of Ramadan, may Allah accept all what we do as an act of ibadah, and may He spare our life to witness many more and more and more of this. Hello. That by the time we are leaving, we will be pleased to Him. We'll be among those that He's pleased with. We want to thank you so much. Say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
I wish you can stay a little bit longer, because I have some children with us. Some of our teenagers have something to tell us as mothers. Who was that has something to tell us? Okay, come and tell us what you said. She called me and said she wants to whisper it to me so that I will help her say it. I told her not to bother whispering to me, that I will not understand her. We want to hear her because we are your parents, and we know that you also have opinions, and we want to encourage you to speak out.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
About how our parents compare us with other children. I don't like it because I don't know what other people are doing. Maybe they might be pretending, doing things that are good. I don't know the rest of the things they do when they are inside.
We understand her.
Yes.
They said we as parents, Firdausi, come down. Don't go. And the good thing is, if our children, let's encourage our children to talk to us the way she just spoke. She has told us they don't like what we are doing. I do it a lot. Is there any mother who doesn't do it? Comparing our children to others. You see your life. See Muhammad, see what he's doing. And this is what you are doing. So let's see. Hajia, you have comments on that.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May Allah bless you, Firdausi, as we are all aspiring to enter Al-Jannatul Firdaus. Alhamdulillah. Actually, I mentioned it when I was talking. We have what is called individual differences. No child is dull. Just know that each child, Allah has given them one potential or the other. Yes. I don't know whether some of us have watched this, I've forgotten the name of. There is a video of a child that is suffering from dyslexia. But unfortunately, how many schools they have changed this child to? She has gone to several schools. It was at the last school that he got. Teachers sometimes we have a lot of responsibility, and just like Ajareke has said, we don't teach. In fact, I'm 247 teacher too, though I'm not teaching presently. But as a teacher, you don't just teach in the four walls of the classrooms. Everywhere you find yourself, you are a teacher. That's what Quran told us. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. We are the best ever race among mankind because we command what is good, we forbid what is evil, and you look at how Allah arranges. and you believe in him. So it's not the belief that comes first. You command what is good. When you see what is good, you command it, you encourage it. And when we see what is evil, we discourage it. This is very, very important. So alhamdulillah for us saying this, please, a lot of us, just try and help each child, whatever be the quality, how much Allah has endowed her with, help her to develop it. Let her grow with that quality in her. Don't compare, because they are not the same thing. Even what's it called? The twins that they are identical twins. It's sometimes you still find one or two things that is different with them. So you cannot have two kids and expect them to behave the same way, to have the same orientation, to have everything equal. It's not possible. The Lord that has created us, he has not done it like that. He said he has made the differences among us so that we can do what? We can glorify his name and to know him better.
Thank you so much, Hadia. Okay, yes, I have two comments. Let me start. Ma, please, her hand has been up. Thank you, ma. Don't go. Don't go, sit there. No, she has to be comfortable. Okay, I'm coming there. Let me finish from this wing. We've been on this wing.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to talk to our parents. Among our siblings, especially the gender discrimination among the boys and the girls.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Of pampering on the boys. It used to spoil them and lead them to sudden death.
Okay, so I think what she's trying to tell us is we raise our boys and they are the kings in the house. The girls will wake up, yes, they are so privileged. They occupy one space, but they are still the ones wreaking havoc in the society. Please, because of the way we raise them, the children raising havoc today are our children. No, I hope we all know they are our children, so we must take responsibility for the way we are raising them.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Oh, you want mic?
I want to start by commending our sisters for gingering this thing that has been with us, has been living with us, and everybody is just in denial. In denial in the sense that nobody wants to talk about it. Many things happen. And in fact, for these, our daughters that has just spoken, the two of them, what they have said is what mothers are all guilty of. And I just wish that this type of training will not end in the room here. And there must be a way. And if there is a means of doing it, whatever you wish to do, a way will emerge. How to get into schools. In those days, we used to have guidance and counseling. But I wonder, I don't know the kind of society we are into now. You don't have that one-on-one contact with the children any longer. And there are so many in the class that the teachers even, they are overwhelmed. They don't have that closeness. And parents, most of us, for some of us, we were lucky. Maybe we had our mothers around when we were raising children. But for the children that are now mothers, they are left on their own. And the children end up either in a daycare, an underage child that is just dumped on somebody that that person's value, you know nothing about it. And they end up drugging the children so that they don't disturb them. And at the end of the day, they return your child to you, and the child is neither here nor there. So this issue of female girls, not girls alone, talking down on our children, cursing them, whatever we are saying out of our mouth is stronger than carrying a weapon at times. So it is good, and we must imbibe it. Be prayerful. Say positive things to the children. Encourage them. Make them happy. It is not by pampering. It is not by providing all these gadgets or making them comfortable with worldly things. Engage with them. Talk to them. Listen to them. And let them speak out. They should be encouraged at all times to have a listening ear. If you refuse to talk to them, you refuse to engage them, they will go out and source the solution, and what they will get will not be what you will tell them. A girl she started seeing her menstruation suddenly, and she went to her teacher because the mother is the busy type. And what did the teacher tell her? He said, it's American wee-wee. American wee-wee. So the girl didn't know what American wee-wee meant, and she just continued her business in the school until a male counterpart now said, what is this on your dress? She said, the teacher said it's American wee-wee. The boy from then started getting close to that girl. And what was he trying to teach her? To teach her how a man and a woman would be, and what can come out of that. So we do a lot of things that we shouldn't do. And we should learn to imbibe this culture of praying and talking to these children. And I wish that this type of thing could please penetrate our society. I don't know how we can do it, but even if that will be something that we will volunteer to do and invest in, it will go a long way in preparing the nation.
Inshallah. I think one of the things we'll do, I will put it out as a suggestion, and I'll beg Firdausi to help us in that regard. I think we need to bring our teenagers together and then let them have their own, their own session, because we are still talking to ourselves. The reason the teenagers are here now is because they are company parents. So Firdausi, will you help us so that you help us lead that process? I saw Farhana somewhere. And is that Miriam? That's Miriam there. That's Farhana. Who else is there? Yes. And this other girl, Hawa, is there. So our male teenagers, yes. Yes. I think Faisal is around. Faiz is around. We have a lot of them around. Yes. But Firdausi, because she was the one who broke, she helped us break the ice. She broke the ice for us. We'll affect Firdausi to coordinate them and give us, and together they can work out a program. When they work out the program for themselves, they will tell us how they want it to run. Since we are asking them to speak out, right? And she's already speaking out. Let them tell us how they want it to run. And if they need us, we'll come. If they don't need us, they talk to themselves. Firdausi, thank you so much. May Allah reward you. So we are waiting for you to give us dates and your team members. She's now our leader. Yes, alhamdulillah. I have 3 more hands were up. Yes. I know you have been the auditor. You want to audit what we are saying. All right. Audit also. Who else was doctor? I'm coming back, man. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My wonderful sisters, I so love you. I don't know how to put it. I love you so much. I'm so elated. What I have 2 things to pass on. Number 1, this lesson we learned from here. We are all mothers, but there are some things we have not heard before now. So please, I want us to communicate to our neighbors, our sisters. At least it goes a long way. If you are a grandmother, communicate to your friends. She will still, it will be multiple. It have a multiplier effect. So it goes from there to another side, and so on and so forth. Then the second thing is that I discovered that some parents, you can see that I am small in size. My children are bigger than me. I'm not afraid of them. So some parents are afraid of their children. Because when sometimes if we are in like a discussion, they talk about these children in these are our youths that are in they are cultism, this, that is going on, especially in the villages. I don't know what goes on in town. So by the time I start saying that we need reorientation, and what I see people tell me is, if you are in the village, they'll just strangle you. They don't talk like that. I told them that it depends on how you communicate to them. There are ways you could communicate and the person will listen to you, despite whatever it is, even when he's holding a gun. The message is that, please, let us not be afraid of our children. When they are going wrong, we should be able to put them right. Assalamu alaikum.
There was an incident I was familiar with. A child killed his mother. The child was addicted to phone. I think he wanted to venture. We are not sure of the real story because the mother is late, so we can't hear her side. But the story we heard was he's always on the phone at night. So, and he's a teenager. He was 17. So the mother seized his phone. He went in and seized the phone. And then in the morning, the boy got up, took a plank and hit the mother's head. Yes. And she died. That's what phone addiction can do. So I'm putting it as a question mark. When you want to fight these addictions from your children, because sometimes you don't even know when it came. You just wake up and discover that they are there. How do you do it to not trigger something like that? Because somebody who is addicted is crazy. Medically, he may not be even mentally sound at the time he did that.
I don't think that we can seem to talk too much because we are sharing ideas. Because I have been talking. The one that struck me now is about how we bring up our boy children and our girl children. I am a first of 27 children. And when my father started to have children, he had 1, 2, Rekia, Fatima, Rama, to this, Hadiza, until number 10. So it's like we're all women growing up. And when the mother delivers in hospital, the friends will ask, what did God give us? Is this her thing? But I give glory to God that my parents, both my father and my mother, they saw the worth of a girl before they passed on.
which means that if you are careful with, if God helps you with bringing up your girls, they will outstrip the men in whatever they want to judge as a successful child. So, my boys, in fact, my baby born, my baby son, the way he slices onions and tomatoes, I don't know how he does it. I cannot achieve it. I try to achieve it. So he cooks, he discusses food, and everybody is at home with him. Same for my big son. This is because when they were growing up, maybe it's from my own background. That's why I gave my background. Because as the first, and as girls come in, our father used to say, these are my own boys. So we sweep, we wash car, we learn how to drive. I learned how to drive at 18 with my mother's pickup, and I have been driving since then. So please, even if it's persuading them, because I used to tell my sons, I said, when you finish school now, you go for youth service. Will your sister be there cooking for you? And the only way you can be strong and independent is if you can cook for yourself. So everybody knows how to cook. Not that the boy is playing football when the girl is sweating in the kitchen. So be fair to the girls so that as Allah usually helps girls, they will come out strong and then they will be useful to you as you age.
Ajia, what's the time now? We'll soon be breaking because they will soon call for prayers. Yes, they will soon call for prayers. Hajia.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So my little contribution is this concerning what my sister said. Comparison. At times, when your parents compare you to somebody, they are also using that word to make you wake up from whatever thing you are doing. Maybe you are somehow lazy. For example, let's say in an academical aspect of it, maybe you are lazy in reading or anything. Your parents will see, can't you see so person how shall be doing? Or is that no one taking first in your class? Why are you backward? Why can't you try and also do what that person is doing so that you'll be able to meet up with this thing? We see comparison doesn't mean maybe our parents they want to compare us with somebody, or they want to bring us down. They also want to make us wake up from any mistake we are doing. Yes, sir, thank you.
I know that is the intention, but I'm not sure it usually achieves its goal.
No,
yes, go on.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Comparing of children to each other, maybe a neighbor child to your own child. That was the only days that our mother used to say that we understand that they want us to become strong and understand. But nowadays, children, they will believe that my mother hates me. A child came himself, a 17 years old child, because of JAM results.
Yes.
He fell, he bring up 145 mark. And our mother was like, why do you bring 145 when the other guy bring 180? And this boy locked up himself in the room and took a sniper, died there. Nobody knows. Even happened in my area and later airport road, just because of you used to come home with number 15, number 20. When other children, I pay your school fees, very expensive. And this boy also came himself, making two. So comparing of the children to each other, I think that was the olden days method.
And the truth of the matter is that not everybody is meant to go to school. Not everybody. And see, don't tell your children you were the one taking first in school. It's not true. Stop lying to your children. When I was in school, I was always first. I was always first. It's a lie. Even if it is true, we want to see your report card. Show us your report card. Stop dropping. I was always first. I was always first. because some of you, you know what? When I was preparing my son for WAEC, I have one son that is very lazy. So when I was preparing him for WAEC, I knew I had done everything. And I know I had been hard on him. So I called him. I said, you know the truth. I said, I once failed WAECO. He said, what? I said, yes. I showed him my result. I said, I failed. And I had to rewrite it. And I don't want you to do that. That's why I've been hard on you. But you know what? Whatever comes, alhamdulillah. Just go and sleep. You have read, you have prepared, you have done everything you needed to do. Go and sleep. Success and victory comes from Allah. It is if you are not ready that I will be angry. But I know you are ready. You know why? Because I knew I had to psychologically prepare him to be at ease with himself. If he goes into the exam hall with anxiety, he will fail. He will fail. So I showed him my first. I said, I've been telling you, when I did WAEC the second time, I had all A's, straight A's. I said, I've been showing you this, right? Okay, let me show you the one that came before. Look at the one that came before it and look at what I did. So go and be at peace with yourself. He had all 10 credits when he finished. Alhamdulillah. Now, our house, we have a lot of people here who speak Hausa. You are still going to wrap up, please. One woman wants to ask a question and she wants to ask it in Hausa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dan Allah mata ina so in yi magana akan ku mata Hausawa. Mafi yawansu suna tilasta ma mazansu su sake su. Menene makoman mace da ta tilasta ma mijinta ya sake ta? Ta ji tsoron Allah. Mata Hausawa mafi yawansu suna tilasta ma mazansu wai su sake su. Ban san me dalilin ba. Amma dan Allah a gaya musu me makomansu matan da ta nemi a sake ta ba tare da wani larura ba. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I understood her that some women are asking for divorce by force. I'm not sure a woman will wake up and ask for divorce. We cherish marriage so much. Ma? We don't know what they are going through, for real. Yeah, some marriages are so cosmetic and beautiful on the outside. She may be suffering abuse inside. Astulillah, you want to say something? Now? Come now. Okay, Kizona.
Salamu alaikum. Yar uwa kina maganan mace da ta ce a sake ta ba tare da wani larura ba. Abin da ya koro bera daga cikin ciyawa ya fada cikin wuta zaki tambaya. Babu wata macen da take bukatan ta fita ta bar ɗakin mijinta babu wani dalili. Dole ne akwai dalili wani Allah yana musguna mata. Saboda mazajenmu na yanzu ba irin na da bane. Abin da iyayenmu suka haɗiya na yanzu ba za mu haɗiye shi saboda ba mu da haƙuri. Iyayenmu na da sun yi haƙuri sosai na yanzu ina. Za ki ga mace shekara 25 aure 5. So ki yi bincike ba haka kawai mace za ta ce sake ni ba. Wannan babu. Ki bincika da kyau.
So, Haja and the coach, please, I want you to also give us 5 minutes. We have a large house speaking. Sir, can I bring the mic? They want to call for prayers. Please, let's take a pause and take the call to prayers.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أستغفر الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. ‘Yan uwana mata Hausawa, ku saurare ni da kyau don Allah don Annabi. Ina so yi muku ƙarin bayani akan maganan da na yi da. Yanzu maganan da waccan nan take yi akan cewa mace ta tambaye mijinta saki ba daidai ba ne a musulunci. Musulunci bai yarda da haka ba. Amma akwai inda za ta je ta kai ƙara. Mace na iya zuwa kotu. Alkali zai yi shari'a. In alkali ya ga cewa lalle akwai dalilin da zai kawo a kashe auren, lalle zai kashe wannan auren. Akwai matakai da yawa. A'a za ka je limamin unguwanku ne?
We should not go yet.
Mai unguwa ne? Kana iya zuwa mace ta je ta kai ƙara, ta faɗi dalili. In mace ta tashi yau, ta ce tana son ta kashe aure, ba a haka kawai ba ne za ta ce tana son ta kashe aure ba. Akwai abin da take gani cikin auren nan. Ba wai ko mace an mata auren dole ba ne za ta ce za ta kashe aure ba. Akwai musgunawan da namiji ke mata. Wasu mazajen macijin soso ne. Sai suna musguna maka in suka fito waje su yi dariya. Muna ganin su da yawa. To irin wayannan mazajen suna da wuyan sha'ani. To abin da ya kamata ke mace ki yi, ki je in akwai hukuma ki je ki kai ƙara. Kin gaji ba za ki iya ba za ki yi ba. Ba a dole a cikin aure. A maimakon mace ta zauna ta kai ga ta kashe mijinta bai taso ba. Duk macen da ta yi kisa ta kashe namiji, kai ko wani bil'adama ma ka kashe, zubar da jinin bil'adama bai dace ba addinin musulunci ba ne. Kar wata mace ta tashi ta ce za ta kashe miji saboda ya musguna ma rayuwanta, ya takura mata ba mafita. Ƙarya ne akwai mafita, ke ce baki nemi mafita ba. Mafitan kuma kenan ki je ki tunkari hukuma. Akwai kotu, akwai limamin unguwanku, akwai kuma mai unguwa. Duk za ki iya zuwa ki kai ƙara. Yanzu ma muna da NGO. Akwai NGO, ƙungiya kamar ƙungiyar agaji ko suna taimakawa. Ana iya zuwa aje a kai ƙara. Akwai kuma human right. Za a iya zuwa aje a kai ƙara. In abin da za a kashe auren ne za a kashe aure. Ba wanda aka ce ta yi auren dole. Ba wanda aka ce ta je ta yi kisa saboda aure ya zo mata dole. Ba dole ba ne. In baki. In ma wani aure ya ce zai yi yau, ki shi ya yi aure. In kina da sana'anki, baki ma damu da yana da wata mata ba. Rashin sana'a yawanci yake kawo matsalolin da muke fama da shi. A don haka na ce muku mata mu rike sana'a. sana'an nan ya zama mijinku, sana'an nan shine 'ya'yanku, sana'a shine komai, domin in kuna da shi to definitely rayuwanku zai tafi daidai. Amma in kuka tsaya kuka ce sai namiji, to za a binne ku da ranku, babu shakka. Banda hakan nan, 'ya'yanku ku kula da su. Kun gani mu arewa sai a ce yara ba su da kunya, ba komi bane, ba mu yi masu tarbiyya bane. Yaro ya tashi ya kalli uwarsa cikin ƙwayan idanta, a binta ina abinci na, kwaɗa ma yaro mari, ko ba zai ƙara ba. Kika buge bakin shi, ko ba zai ƙara ba. Ya kira ki inna, ya kira ki mama, ya kira ki baba. Tarbiyya na farko. Tarbiyya na biyu, ya tashi da safe, ya dole ya zo ya gaishe ki. Yaron duk da ya tashi da safe, ta shigo ɗaki ta gaishe ki ba, tana sallame sallah assalamu alaikum, ta dun faro ɗakin ki ta miki gaisuwa. Gaishe ki ciki lafiyanta, sata ta yi aiki, mace ko namiji ba wani, duka tukunya ɗaya ake ci abinci, sa ɗanki namiji ya yi aiki. Kuna barin su haka nan shine ke kawo musu shashanci, suke lalacewa su fita yawon shaye-shaye saboda rashin aikin yi, su bi ɗan wannan gidan, su bi ɗan wancan gidan. To ba shi bane, saboda kun bar su banza ba su yin komai. In namiji kike da shi, sashi aiki, zo ya gaishe ki, to je ka share da cikin gida. Ya gama ya zo ya gaya miki mama na gama, ya kuma durkusa a gabanki, mama na gama, je ka yi wanke-wanke. Na yi hakan nan a gidana, yaro na babba shekarar shi 32, har yau kuma yana wanke-wanke, sai dai ba mu ci abinci ba, dole ya tashi, in ba haka ba sai na ci kutuman shi. To saboda me mu muka yi sake, ki sa shi ya yi, in ya tashi tun yana haka yana yi, to wallahi a tsufanki zai ji tausayinki, saboda ya san wahala. A mafi yawan da iyaye suke tsufa suke wahala a arewa, saboda ba ku yi ma 'ya'ya tarbiyya tun suna ƙanana ba ne, sai ku tsufa da wahala. Ku yi wahala yau, gobe ku huta, shi ne abin da ya kamata. Sannan na biyu, idan suna da abokai ko ƙawaye, ku tabbata kun san gidajen da ƙawayen nan suke ko abokanan suke, ku duba waye ne iyayensu, iyayen nan wasu irin iyaye ne. In ba ku bincika ba, sai ku ga cewa watakila su ma yaran nan da suke shaye-shayen nan a wurin iyayen suka gada. So in suna yi, iyayen ba su san cewa ai abin da suke ba daidai ba ne, saboda su ma suna yi. Iyaye na shaye-shaye, 'ya'ya na shaye-shaye, kuma duk a gida ɗaya. Uwa sai ta ɗauki kuɗi ta ba ɗanta ya je ya siyo mata abin shaye-shaye, a siyo mata solution, a siyo mata ƙwaya da sauransu. Kin aike shi yau ya je ya siyo maki, gobe me zai yi a gidanki? Dole shi ma ya san hanyar da ake sayarwa, zai saci kuɗinki zai je ya saya. To kar mu ce muna sake da batun yara. In muka kula da su yau, za mu huta. In muka kula da su yau, za mu ji daɗi. Ka ji tausayin tsufanka a ƙarshe, abinda duk ka shuka a yanzu shine za ka kwashe a gaba. To sa musu ido a yanzu nan ba shi bane. Duk abokin da yake da shi, don Allah ku kula. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. There's no need to repeat what she said in Hausa. We all understand. Yeah, Imam. Imam Salah. Your thoughts, please.
Sallu ala Nabil Kareem. Sallu ala Nabil Kareem.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Sallu ala Nabil Kareem.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Now, I think I'm happy with that, because the Prophet ﷺ said, if you have a gathering of this nature, it is not Allah's name that has been mentioned, or that of the Prophet. And at the end of it all, Allah might start to ask you questions. And if Allah wish what you have done, Allah might not accept it from you. And by His mercies, Allah can grant you all your requests. May Allah answer all our prayers. I want to commend all our mothers that you did very well. And the reward of what you have done is in the hand of Allah. May Allah reward you abundantly. From our mother, the speaker of today, and all who have made contributions, may Allah increase your wisdom. May Allah be with you all and be with your family. But I want to plead to you, please. I'm pleading. And I'm pleading to you in Allah's name and that of the Prophet and that of the month that we are in now, the month of Ramadan. But the Prophet ﷺ said, if forgiveness is not granted to you in the month of Ramadan, then in which month will you be granted forgiveness? What we have discussed here, from the time we started these programs, these are very important issues. But as a mother and who have made contributions, are we taking them home? Are we practicing them? It is a good thing to speak out here in public. But what we do in our homes, this is another question. We should put at the back of our mind the hadith of the Prophet that said that the paradise of every child lies under the feet of their mothers. The very day you discussed about polygamy, just about a few days after, I think about 2 or 3 days, we met with one of our members here who was even at that program. Something came up, but what she said out, I want to tell you I'm not discouraged and I was not disappointed. Everybody is on his or her own. What she said, her contribution to what happened, was not what was expected of her. We do this daily on daily basis. It is a very good program. Everybody says, yes, let's continue after Ramadan. Do we practice it?
Exactly.
Are we sincere to ourselves? There are other ways at which we could help our children, like the speaker said, physically and spiritually. Prayers at all times. When you talk to them, you engage them in prayers. Sit them down. When you want to do your tahajjud, when I was young, okay, and Rafa said we should not use word young again. When I was younger, at 1:32 p.m., of course I'm your teacher, our father will, when he wakes up for prayers, midnight prayers, tahajjud, or whatever you call it, he will come to our room and wake us, get up. We will not engage in prayers. It is what we enjoy today. As a mother, say good things about the fathers to your children. What you tell them, it is what they believe in.
Exactly.
As a mother, even if a father has 2, 3, 4 wives, whatever, you will not be asked about the other women's children, but your own children. If you are good as well, the other women too, they are good as well, you are all gaining paradise. I came across an hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and I think we have read it before during the Salatu time, when he said to the companions, Alimu abna'akumus salat, fasawfa tu'allimuhumus salata kulla shay. It is just when you engage them in serious prayers, you help them with prayers. Prayer will now teach them other things. Like when you're in prayer, you know humility. You are humble in prayer because you are facing Allah. When you engage them in prayer seriously, both these 5 daily prayers and even the supplications, it will help them in their lifetime. Please, what we have learned here, let us practice it at home. It is a good thing to come into gatherings like this and speak, but what do we do at our different homes? It's all about it. May Allah help us. May Allah strengthen our faith. Imam said I should announce again that tomorrow Sunday, the last Sunday of in this month of Ramadan, like on every Sundays, we recite Quran during the Salatu time. And after the Quranic recitation, we do little lectures. We are now inviting, we are all members because we are all Muslims. And every mosque is allowed for every Muslims to say their prayers. May Allah answer all our prayers.
Amen.
Please, what we have learned, let us take them home and practice them. If you just pay attention, you make contributions, to go home and do the other thing, Allah is watching and Allah will ask you. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Auntie Rafa.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah for the very rich contributions to the topic from everyone. I pray that Allah enable us to practice all we have learned today, and may these trickles be ripples for us and our generations. So let's remember that prevention is better than cure. And it is the duty of every one of us here, whether we're grandmas, whether we're mothers, whether we're sisters, whether we're daughters. It is the responsibility of everybody, because the believers are, we are for each other. If body suffers, the other suffers as well. So we cannot look at something happening to another believer and then, take our eyes away as if it's not us. We are each part of each other, and we should endeavor to, support each other in doing good. We should also remember that we should uphold our duas, and most important of all, we have a manual for living. Our manual for existence is the Sharia, and we should strive to learn it, understand it, and practice it. May Allah accept our ibadah. May Allah accept our fast. May this Ramadan, may Allah enable us to do good works for the remaining days that are left. May Allah emancipate us from the fire and grant us the highest station in Jannah and reunite us all in Jannah to Firdaus. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you very much all for coming.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I thank Almighty Allah for giving us all this opportunity to witness today and to be able to learn one or two things. We have shared a lot of experience. We have benefited from one another. My parting word with each and every one of us, inshallah, I'm going to, like I told us about the story of Imran. Please take note of that. Then there's another verse of Quran I want to give us as the parting nasiyah to each and every one of us. The Quran is Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 48, where Allah told us, وَلَا تَتَبِعَ وَهَهُمْ أَمَّا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْحَقِّ لِكُلِّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شِرْهَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا. This is my parting verse with each and every one of us. It's an assignment for you, and I'm sure each and every one of us, we go home, we read it, we take over it. But the short form of it is that Allah is telling us, don't follow your passion, but read more about that. Read the tafsir of that verse. It's very, very important. Assalamu alaikum.
Please do not be. Please do not be anxious about Salat. Our men are here. They will lead us in Salat because we are going to wind down in the next 5 minutes. So please just calm down. We are still within the time for Salat, for Zuhur. Let me at this point call Hajia Aisha Ismail. She is the leader of the team that put this project together. Let her give us the closing remark, and in the process also thank Hajia Musinat. Hajia Aisha Daviruku is a member of the family. She's always here with us, and I know she's going to come again. Hajia Musinat must come again. Imam has said so. In fact, she has issues to clear with Imam, so she has to be coming to clear it. We have a token to present to you. Yes. So we have a little token to present to you to thank you. We have a little token to present to you to thank you for coming today to feed us again from the fountain of your knowledge. We thank you. May Allah increase your knowledge. May we continue to see one another in a very long time. So thank you. This is from us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Jazakumullah khairan to Al-habibiyyah family. Just as he has said, because Imam, one of the secrets, let me tell you, since he's not here now, me and Imam, we have known each other for long. We were schoolmates. We did A levels together. In fact, he was a junior to me in A levels.
So we thank Almighty Allah for bringing us to the end of this long program that we started in the first weekend of Ramadan. We are grateful to Allah that He actually has increased us in knowledge. The idea that came very quietly, and we're able to explore and deliver all that we have done so far. Well, different people have asked for different things. How did we start? We started with how to instill the gains of Ramadan after Ramadan. We went on to discuss polygamy in Islam. From there, we discussed what was the third sexual violence last weekend. And today we have discussed about our children, the addiction that is prevalent these days in the modern society. So for me, two topics actually stood out: the polygamy and what we discussed today. And on this premise, we have agreed we're going to carry on, as our Imam has instructed us, that we're going to carry on this event subsequently every quarter. Then we came down to every month. We're going to start and see how it goes. Because for me, I'm not going to actually say every month here, because I know what we went through with what we just finished. So we're going to start something. But I think, like what we said during the polygamy week, that there's a lot to still trash under polygamy. We're going to carry on with that topic. So the next one we're going to have on the normal topics we're going to be trashing, we're going to deal very well. We're going to go into polygamy again and bring out issues that came up from the first lecture. So my sister is going to come back again. I believe the sister that came last week, yes, because they are going to help us trash these topics. So these two topics are very, very dear to my heart, and I crave the indulgence of my team members to agree with me that we're going to call up these topics again, this of our children and polygamy, because the polygamy really, really raised a lot of dust, and we didn't have enough time to trash it. So we are going to come back to it again. And I want to propose something else. We noticed that, like I would say half, but I may be wrong. Half of our audience here have been the Fulanis, the Hausa Fulanis. We have to organize something for them. We have to organize them. We have to help them. It's going to be an all Hausa event, which they will come, they will bring their friends, then we'll have to talk to them. Where's that sister that was, sister, please, you're going to be one, or we're going to discuss this in details. These are just my ideas I think we're going to work with, so that at the end of the day, we have huge content in every event we're going to be having. Then for those people, please, if you know you're not a member of Al-habibiyyah, you are coming here as guests, could you kindly raise up your hand? We are on membership drive. We're on membership drive. We want all of you to come back. We want all of you to come back. We have work to do. We have work to do. And we want our membership to increase so that we can break into groups and actually give life to our ideas here.
We're not just a Muslim mosque, right? We want to try and contribute to the deen in any best way forward among the women, so that at the end of the day, we can ask ourselves, what have we done for Islam today? And we can actually say, yes, I belong to Al-habibiyyah, I belong to this group, and I have been able to contribute this and that. There is nobody, like you heard from our speaker, there is nobody that is useless. Everybody has an idea, no matter how minute that idea may be. Everybody has an idea, and we need people to come into Al-habibiyyah society to contribute your quota through this society into Islam. We don't want you to run away after now, then until next year. We want you to come every Sunday to our Asalatu and join us in doing something good for Islam. We thank you so much. I thank my team members, that have made this whole event in the last 4 weeks possible. Haja Rabi, Haja Ramatu, Haja, what is your name, Sif? Haja Rukaya, Haja Rafa. Please stand up for recognition. You've done so well. I must congratulate us. Haja Halima, our Quranic reciter, please stand up for recognition. I say thank you so much for your support. Haja Rafa, without you, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are today. I know I'm the team lead, but I know what you've done you had my back. I say thank you so much, Jazakallahu khairan, for everything. Everybody that has contributed to this event, remotely or otherwise. So I'll say takbir, takbir, takbir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May Allah reward everybody.
We thank you too now. We thank you, team leader. But for your leadership, we will have got this far. We will go for Zuhur prayer now. Should we still do closing prayer? Yes, who will do closing prayer for us? Imam, are you doing closing prayer for us? Yes. Imam Yusuf will do closing prayer for us.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين صلوا على النبي الكريم